Hello and welcome to the Cars, Bars, and Guitars podcast, episode
86. Oh, wait, I still have the wrong Cyrola. Happy birthday to you.
I'm AJ.
And I'm Steve.
Steve, who are we brought to you today by?
Very awkward car hunt, but it was successful.
Very nice. He got something similar yet different. And we got two guests with us, Mr. Matt Kramer and Mr. Sean Preston.
Hello.
Yay.
Is it true what they say about you guys?
That being,
Is
Probably in my
it
case.
true what they say about you guys?
yes.
Cool. What is everybody drinking? We'll start with Steve. He's right across from me, and he's at the 12 o'clock position.
I'm going to say this is the local NFL team's rookies, a Panther Cub.
And it is. It's a porter with vanilla extract, maple syrup, aged in bourbon barrels.
How fitting.
I didn't even bother reading the rest of it.
It's very tiny.
It is just delicious.
It is very tiny. And Mac, what are you drinking?
I am drinking the good old Victory Golden Monkey Belgian style triple ale with added spice at 9.5%.
Very
It's
nice.
That was one of the earliest, strongest beers.
Yeah. Oldie but a goodie.
August 05.
And,
Remember that because that was right after I joined the UFO Club.
and Mr. Preston, what are you drinking?
I am drinking the Noda Fusion Series Imperial Hazy IPA with tangerine.
Yes to all.
Very
First
nice.
variation in a IPA series, and it is 9.4%.
That is some deliciously 80s-tastic graphics.
It is absolutely rad approved,
Uh,
and it's tasty.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, fellas.
Clink.
Clink, clink.
Less
Clink.
satisfying clink.
Clink.
Clunk.
A glunk.
I can never remember.
I five myself, no friends.
I can never remember which one of our friends are wrong-handed or right-handed.
Well, I'm going to say everybody in here is right, except for you.
He's
Ah,
wrong-handed.
Southpaw, baby. Let's go.
So actually, all of us
How
are
very sinister of you.
all of us are going to be drinking without hitting the mic stand except Steve.
That's why everything's
Drink lefty.
here, so I'm tempting to not mess this up.
He drinks lefty, but he beats it righty, I think. I'm not sure.
I'm amphibious.
Well, thank you guys for Sean's never been a guest by himself, and Mac's only been a guest by himself. So, so this is going to be different for you and not for him.
But it's different because it's a different person for me.
That is true.
That
And
is true.
it's also going to be different because you have more room because we were still doing it at the old table
Yes.
the last time you were here.
And neither Brian nor I are small guys.
It was we'll be kind and say challenging, but fun.
Cozy. Yeah.
Cozy but fun.
Cozy.
All right.
Snugly.
Well, glad you guys are here, and we are here to drink and all that shit. We might not break into the old school bottles. Mac's very worried about that.
Oh, boy.
Are you worried?
You know, my uncle, my fiance's uncle passed us along a couple of, like a box of these bottles.
Yeah.
And some of them had already opened themselves during storage. And
Right.
I was just like, the stuff coming out of these, I'm not sure if it's going to be, shelf stable by the time you get to it. But hey, I'm adventurous.
You'd be surprised. So like even some of these bottles that are completely sealed and sealed well, they still might look like this after 50 years or 30 years just because the seals aren't that great in these. It's just a twist on cap. It's not, corked or anything like that.
Exactly.
There's still going to be some air coming into it, which changes the flavor and, obviously evaporation.
Nice.
Well, I think I'm going to crack open the George Dickel 15-year I literally just picked up from the ABC store right in front of my house. Thank you, Luis. He is always very, very pleasant and holds stuff for me. He had 2 bottles of this left. He goes, man, I ain't seen you in like a week or so. He's like, I got something for you. I'm like, go on. I don't think I've never bought something this old.
I have a couple of bottles that are pretty old. I've got a 24-year-old bourbon, Rhetoric 24. I picked up a bottle of, oh gosh, what was it?
Sounds good.
Yeah, I got something that was all right. So I went to an ABC store in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and walked into it, and sitting on the shelf, not in the behind a counter or anything like that, was an Elijah Craig 18-year, just sitting on the shelf.
God.
And it was MSRP, of course, and so I bought it. So that's also one of the older ones I have.
Was that $200?
130.
Okay, yeah, that's still stout, but
It's
right.
stout, but it's 200 at the distillery if you buy it.
Holy cow.
Lord. Well, yeah, this one was $58. It's 15 years, 48%, and Sean was telling us off air that they vary from what you said, 42 to 50
to fit like 52 somewhere in there.
Okay, so I got lucky to get this one in Mint Hill. So,
Yeah.
how about a sláinte to you guys with this one too? We'll see what this.
Sláinte
I've never
indeed.
had.
Prost.
Yes,
Smells really good.
Smells very citrusy.
It's pleasant.
that's different. I like that. It has citrus and pep. Like I'm tasting
There's definitely some pepper there,
Mhm.
pepper and
Pepper.
citrus. Like
Definitely pepper.
That's
but
really
not
good.
like a rye, just like a
Right.
black pepper.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
State.
No.
Yeah.
Louis!
Wouldn't- there's a TikTok so around apparently if you dip your balls in something, you can actually taste the flavor of it.
I
I
remember
heard it was
hearing something about that, but like there were doctors that were saying no.
There can't be
100% not true.
Just for the memes, it was funny.
Talk about cotton mouth.
Yeesh. Some from under cheese
From underwear.
from under there.
From
Yeah, we always
from her
walk
underwear.
From under these nuts.
Well, I'm happy with this, but it always tastes different. Sean, back me up. When you first crack it open, it's going to taste different than in like a week after.
Yes.
So
So one of the bottles I brought is a very prime example of that. It changed a lot.
in a good way or bad way, or just it changed. Okay.
Some people might say it just changed. I said it changed in a good way.
I've never had one change in a bad way.
I've had some kind of lose a little something.
Okay, but
not necessarily go bad, but just it wasn't as maybe flavorful or complex after it aired out a little bit.
Gotcha. You should have been on air with us when we had this shit from Croatia. My employee Samir brought it back from Bosnia, but that's a Croatian liquor. Steve, I do slightly remember it smelling and tasting like nail polish remover.
It was
Wash
a
it
little
out.
better than that.
Does it still have a?
It didn't make an acetone of itself.
No, it doesn't really have any.
It's still, but I mean, we drank it, but
I didn't hate it.
okay.
It was a league of its own, but I didn't hate it.
The story behind the bottles were that my grandfather quit drinking in 1965, the year my brother was born, because my dad's first wife had left him. And so he's like, I think Roy's probably going to need some help raising that boy, so I'm going to
Good
quit
man.
drinking. And he just cold turkey never had any. And so that just sat in the cabinet. And Greg was telling me when Grandma died that it was still in the cabinet. He's like, yep, I'll be taking those. So it's a Jack Daniels, a Johnny Walker, and a Canadian Club whiskey, all from Delta Airlines.
You know,
Oh,
but would be
yeah.
even funnier if there was a wild turkey in the mix. If he quit wild
I would
turkey,
be
cold,
like, let's open that right this fucking
Yeah.
quit cold turkey, wild turkey.
Yeah.
Quit cold wild turkey. Black pepper turkey. That's good shit.
Yeah.
Anybody got any new and exciting shit they want us to celebrate and that just happened to you in the last week or two?
I would say that it's now Friday.
Yeah.
Synchronized.
It's Friday, and so therefore
That is a
I'm
celebration.
starting my weekend. So
Hooray.
that's always wonderful.
Yes.
Wait, what's that?
Oh yes, you.
You write the
I'm
schedule.
off tomorrow though.
That's it. But you
There you
usually
go.
choose to work the
Does
weekends.
that make 2 Saturdays in a row off for you?
All right, I've only worked 3 Saturdays this year, but I'm pretty much there every Sunday.
Okay.
Saturdays, I'm not really. We don't get trucks, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Much to my boss's chagrin, who thinks because she has a shitty schedule, all of us have to have a shitty schedule. It's like,
No.
hey man,
No, that's not how that
you
works.
rub the lamp, you get the genie out of the lamp you rubbed. So I mean, yes, it is the weekend. I have nothing to do tomorrow, which actually feels kind of good. I got to get kitty litter.
I think we need to do a proper cleaning of the litter boxes. You know, empty it and do a complete clean?
Yeah.
Because it's been a little bit, and you're supposed to do it pretty often.
I haven't done it in months, but I scoop every day.
So we don't scoop every day, but we scoop pretty often. But yeah, they still recommend. pretty
Poop
often do that.
Dome scoops every day, multiple times a day. Have you guys told them about my my Poop Dome?
Yeah, I didn't, but you can tell them about the poop dome.
So,
Welcome to the Poop
you
Dome.
know,
Wait,
5 years ago,
you have a poop dome too.
you got a Poop Dome. Yeah, and it's a great one. So if you asked me 5 years ago if I'd spend $500 on a litter box, I would have slapped you. But come to find out,
Box wasn't 500.
Litter Robot has a fully mechanized, it's a globe. It is a globe that sits on top of a little pedestal, and there's a step, of course, for the cats to get in.
Doesn't rotate.
It does. It is actually a rotating thing, and of course the liner inside is like a tough rubber, but not tough enough to actually bend. It'll bend as well, so it actually cycles all the poop down to the bottom in a tray. You just grab the bag, chuck the bag, put a new bag in, you're done, and you don't have to scoop anything, and it's amazing.
You find this at the last possible sharper image.
I wish, no, it is a sharper
A
image type of
Brookstone.
product, but I tell you, it's
Circuit
new age.
City,
Yeah, you'd think it works.
a media play.
Right. Dude, I miss a media play, man. Those stores were awesome.
Gray used to work at the one in University.
Holy cow. I used to go to the one in University.
And you might have met a long time
Throw
ago.
it all the way back. That was like the only
Boy,
shopping
and,
center. In
and boy, are my arms tired.
Media Play was right across from the university, right?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
kind of where
UNC.
Harris Teeter.
Yeah, that area.
And what's the name of that restaurant that nobody's ever at, but it's actually pretty fucking good?
Oh, Charlie's?
One,
No.
that one kicked the that actually kicked the bucket.
That's a funny
There
joke.
was the hibachi joint and the Mexican joint. I think they're still there, and that one in the
Monterey.
corner that
Oh, okay.
Hell yeah. Monterey Cabuto.
Monterey's is great, but I'm talking about the one that
Amalfi.
is
in front of Target.
no,
That
not
is
far.
that is once again vacant.
The one that there used to be one at Concord Mills, and there's one there too.
McAdoo's.
McAdoo's.
man.
That's now something different.
Yeah,
Okay.
that
They
finally
were
did
in a
close
white
down.
elephant building, though, to be fair. That
McAdoo's is
But they lasted a long
is
time.
now
They
Macadont.
did.
Oh, don't talk about him like that.
Never mind. Never mind. I
Rude.
thought it looked like Mikado's.
So I just got a message from Far Mill Brewing in Harrisburg. They would love to have us out for a show.
Hey,
Nice.
let's go.
Back during early pandemic
Great
times, I
choice.
dropped by there and no one was home. It's like shit.
You guys are
And
good
that's
luck
right-
charms.
Yeah,
And that's right behind
there it
the
is.
Lowe's Foods where I found all the crazy beers a month ago.
Oh my! I got to before we get into the news, I want to tell y'all something that I absolutely fucking shredded my cheese at when I heard
That's a new one.
Sorry, Steve.
Shredded your cheese, eh?
Well, butter your bread. I'm going to shred your cheese.
All right, so I was listening to a podcast from it was Bob Odenkirk. It was on
Nerdist or WTF?
no, he was actually on Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, and
Nice.
he was explaining
Because
to me
now he's nobody.
he was on the Ben Stiller. You guys remember the Ben Stiller show? All right, so there was a skit on it called Manson, and what it was. Do you remember this?
I don't remember
All right,
this. But
So now
only
this is going to
imagining.
sound like a
I-
weird segue.
I allegedly will be able to help you find the show, by the way.
Okay.
This gets on YouTube, but it's called Manson, and so to completely segue away from this, and I promise you, there's a reason behind this. So you guys know the story like Lassie, so where the Lassie will go ruff ruff. It's like, what is it? What is it, boy? Timmy's trapped in the well. Well, this is the same thing, except it's just Charles Manson lives with them, and he'll just go up to him. He's like, hey Charles, how's it going? He's like, I'm gonna kill everybody and hide the bodies. They're like, what is it, boy? Where's Timmy?
And that was 30 years ago.
It is so fucking fun. Like I like
that humor stands today.
Yes. I remember back when Java was around, he had IFC at his house and like catching some episodes of that. It was incredible.
Stands the test of time.
It's so I'm gonna murder everybody here, and I'm fucking crazy as a fox. It's like, where is he? He's trying to tell us something. I've been like cheesing to tell you guys
Well,
that. I think it has a doofy ass like thing like that. Oh goodness. Well, holy shit, that's a lot of dates.
So that's an old television show. It's like, man, it's in gray.
Yeah. had to watch that when we were on Pangea.
That's how Danny Gold. That's how Danny Gold
When
had
fire
his
was
daughters
invented,
explain black
they
and
were
white
just coming
movies.
up
Like
with
everything's in
Ride my
gray.
dinosaur.
There is no, it's black. It's gray. It's black and gray. There's no black and white in black and white movies. Well, time to do the news, I guess.
Sweet.
Publix plans to open Pours, Pours, a craft beer bar in South Tampa inside their
In order to
grocery
keep
store.
out the POORS. Am I right, folks?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's public, so I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like what's the Amazon one?
It's always funny, Whole Foods.
Whole
It's always
Foods.
funny when the L burns out, though.
Yep.
It's a hairy situation.
Cubics.
Well, Discount Tire was Cunt Tire for one day before they changed it.
I'm surprised it lasted one day.
And it was before my phone had a camera, so this was like 05. So it was like, God damn it, man. That would have been great for a picture.
Taking mental pictures, just blinking furiously at it.
Thanks, Elon.
Man, too bad your printer's busted.
Oh, it works.
Your mind's printer.
Asshole.
Yikes.
What? Whoa!
Talk
He
about-
prints out what he ate.
Started
Talk about
snapping
some-
before I
Talk about the
caught the
shitty print
punchline.
quality.
Favorite Green Day album?
I was going to say, it only
Dude,
prints
you-
in brown, but it doesn't.
Nah.
10,030, yeah, 1,039 slapped out happy hours. Kerplunk.
Next up, Auroch Digital Company, AUROCH, Auroch Digital Company, is releasing Brewmaster, an indie video game where you make craft beer.
I mean,
Interesting.
there are games for driving buses, so
Yeah, Penn and Teller. Have you
What?
heard of Desert Bus?
No.
That was part of the Sega Saturn Penn and Teller game. The idea is that you're on an 8-hour drive from LA. Yeah, it's going so slow. It's LA to Vegas in this bus. It takes 8 hours. It goes straight, but it has a slight pull to the right. So you have to maintain control of this bus. Don't hit anything. Don't run it off the road.
Jesus.
And apparently they
Slight
have
pull
a
to the
charity
right.
competition going on for people to go and play this to raise money for,
whatever.
I don't know, cancer research or something.
Excellent.
It was, yeah, it's completely absurd and terrible.
Yeah,
Can I
there
tell
there
you?
are trucker games and
Mhm.
like I said like where people literally will drive across country with hauling stuff.
Yep.
And will literally do it.
Streamers that
Yeah.
do that. Yeah,
So I was
absolutely.
I was at my parents' place Monday night, and we were laughing our asses off at the second half of Smoking the Bandit because that happened to be on, and that was my mom's favorite movie. Yours was, very kind, sweet woman, but she thought Jackie Gleason and the profanity-ridden bunch of nonsense was the funniest thing ever.
It's like, pow, right to kiss her. Pow,
Pow,
right to
right to
kiss
kiss
her.
her.
Pow, right to kiss her.
This was after that, but same diff.
There might be.
I'm gonna
something
barbecue
to-
your ass and molasses. Daddy, the top came off.
I tell you,
Boy, next time I see your mother, I'm gonna smack her till your teeth fall out. It's from '77, so it's just you can't make that movie today.
dude. Yeah, no. The premise of that movie is wild, like completely.
Cross country road trip for fucking Coors. Get
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Fuck out.
Yeah, let me go get these cores. Yeah, like dude,
Different
just
times,
go to the
man.
store.
Want to know
Different,
how I got
but
these cores?
And that totally sweet Georgia flag on the front of the car, y'all.
If they want to remake it
Yippee-ki-yay.
today, it would be carrying Yingling across back to the west.
Yeah.
Because apparently it
Yeah,
doesn't make it
that's,
past Mississippi.
Really?
It's
crazy.
been
Wow.
slowly. Right before I turned legal drinking age, Yingling made it to North Carolina, so that was all the rage on VW Vortex. Were guys talking about that, and that was quite good.
Oh,
You know,
you
they're-
tell me a Vortex throwing it
Yeah,
back.
yeah, because that
Miss
was
my Mark
back.
IV.
This one Mark II, not so much a Mark III.
Yeah, shit broke all the time. but it was a
The
great
Mark
car.
the Mark III is the reason I've
Volkswagen.
got a fleet of Toyotas now.
Yep, fair. I'll tell you though, on making a game about brewing beer,
Yeah.
you can go into the App Store today and find at least 10 games about growing weed and running a dispensary. And you can do
Nice.
the same thing. Actually, I have a game on my phone.
And it's
that
listed
is
as edutainment.
surprisingly super fun. It is a police station simulator. And not even a simulator, but more of like one of those kind of build-up games, because that's exactly what that brewery game is going to be. It's going to be you start out with one employee, and a really
And one
simple
vat.
production line. Exactly. And then you build it up from there. And of course, there's going to be hella ads every time you want to do something. So you just click a million ads. Those guys make a ton of money, which good on them. That's awesome. But you also get a little tiny bit of industrial insight as to what goes in.
What makes it function?
I mean, that's in the broadest terms education, but that's you're not learning too much, but it's enough to be like,
you couldn't go brew something, but you could at least kind of understand why a beer might be $7.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It strikes me as the same thing as like a Guitar Hero. Like if you're gonna spend the effort and time to do the game, you could just do the thing.
But
Not
but
necessarily.
AJ,
A little different.
they called it Rocksmith.
It costs $1
That
million
uses a real
to
guitar.
start up a brewery nowadays.
I mean, home brewing.
Home brewing.
That's
true.
what I meant. I didn't mean like
Okay, I was about to say, holy shit, bro, that's a lot of money.
Acme's like, so you want to open a brewery? No,
Yeah.
not like that.
Yeah, but no, I see exactly what you mean, and to that point, actually, you get some good hand-eye coordination from stuff. I remember I learned rudimentary drums from Rock Band.
Well,
Back
that
in
makes
the day.
sense. I mean,
That was the
'cause-
closest to actual.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like you're actually doing what you need to do.
Compared to just
Yeah.
hitting buttons. Then again, there's a guy on Facebook right now. I struggle to remember his name, but he is currently grinding for partnership status with Facebook. But all he does is play Guitar Hero. And dude, the songs that this guy plays, it's impossible for anyone that has played that game, even for a few hours, to even look at, because he's going double hand, no strum, like tap notes. It's insane. There's got to be like 2,000.
I think I've seen the guy you're talking about
Insane.
before.
Sean,
So-
Mac, do you have any recollection of how big a Guitar Rock Hero Band fan just now Yardsenbeck is?
Oh yeah, and
The fact that she finally pawned off those, it was like between like
Really?
at Angie's place back in the day.
yeah.
Nice.
It was like, for what's worth, I was never good at Simon, therefore I cannot be good at Guitar Rock Hero Band. But to actually learn the skills, it is called Rocksmith.
Rocksmith is actually really
Rocksmith
tight.
was,
It has
Bought
an actual
that.
guitar attached to it.
Use that, and it does teach you some things. It does. So, actually, I might see if I can get a copy of that, because now I got my Xbox like good to go. Like, don't need it for a whole bunch else. Just bought a new PC, so I'm like rocking out on that. But
oh, and Mac. His good news this week is he started back at Muay Thai.
yeah,
that's
you know
true.
what?
Yeah.
I did. I need to throw that in. And shout out to Black Belt USA in Charlotte, North Carolina. Y'all, if you want to learn how to fight, let me tell you.
Or just a fun way to exercise.
And I'll tell
'Cause
you,
it
literally
really
the
is.
best workout of your life.
Yeah.
Because this group of people is really good for building you up, and they make you feel a part of the family. But then they will wear you out with the hardest workout you've done in your life, but you'll feel so great afterwards. So no, I did start that back this
I
week.
think
That's
that
a good
was
point.
last night, my first time mowing the lawn. Spring break
Oh,
loose.
shucks.
3 years I've had this electric mower, and last night's the time I finally run over the cable.
Yowza.
Never mind. Like I was trying to finishing up the last bit in the darks. Like it was just a matter of time.
Yeah.
3 years. I mean, that's
That's a good run.
yeah.
Yeah. It was a 100-foot cord. Like I think it's a positive and negative.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Well, I mean,
can
yeah,
patch
it's
it
electric.
up.
There's positive. There's negative.
Boogie woogie.
I see what you did there.
But that's good.
Never like that song.
It's also good that they are encouraging, because I've heard people go to some of the jiu-jitsu schools or any kind of MMA, and like they say, like even to get on the mat, you have to go like permission to get on the mat, and like it's really strict instead of like
Worst fraternity
so-
ever.
I went to an open day with Chico, and I can't remember if you were there that day. or not.
I think I was there for that. Yeah.
So I went to an open day, and
this
it
was
it
like
was
6 years ago, or
Yeah, it was a
maybe
while
even
ago.
longer. Yeah.
I was actually going to the gym quite a bit at the time, and I still was wore the fuck out after doing it, because it's so much different stuff that you're working on. There's a lot of repetition. So all these weird muscles just
I'm
like
sorry, what was
killing
that?
you the next day. Repetition.
If you done it, then you done it again. You're redundant.
Indeed. Redone did it.
Just booked 4 shows sitting here listening to us.
Excellent.
Holy kittens.
Fuck, can we clink?
Yeah,
Let's
we
clink.
can
Yes,
certainly
let's-
clink for that.
clink everybody, but I can clink.
Clink, clink, clink.
Yes.
Clink.
You can vicariously clink through us.
No, last night's burnout workout was 50 kicks, 25 on each leg.
I was going to ask if it was 50 total or 25-25.
25, and
That's the same
holy
fucking
cow,
thing,
it
never
feels the
Or,
same.
or 50 per each leg.
Yeah.
Goodness.
No, 50
That's
at
when
the
you're
same time.
testing.
50 at the same time.
Yeah.
I think that's when your intestines explode.
Like horse kicks.
Yeah. Or the fucking gold member kicks.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is like, where'd you get that leg?
How do you know it? Never mind. All right. Next up, Paul Burris of Upcycle Edibles is buying rejected and expired craft beers and turning them into craft vinegar.
Well, I mean, that's actually kind of a thing. It's
That's
just like,
I now know
upcycling.
that.
I like
it was
that.
just like with olive oil and stuff. Like, there's a whole market for that stuff.
Popeye's wife?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, she gets
When you're
around.
making
I wouldn't say
vinegar-based
that. He could-
barbecue.
That's my Popeye.
Make a vinegar-based barbecue, and you
Yeah,
can
vinegar.
tell.
I like vinegar on base barbecue. Apple cider vinegar, absolutely, like in that. But like, I can't think of
For my reflux treatment when I'm out of Pepsid.
Bam.
any.
I don't know how you fight acid with acid, but it works.
Somehow. Yeah.
Well, if they say fight fire with fire, so I guess you can fight acid with acid.
Similar
Some
concept, but
strange
apple cider
way.
vinegar's popular because it's one of the sweeter ones. That and red wine vinegar.
Which is good.
Like-
on what kind of sandwich is the red wine? Or you can get that like a Subway or Quiznos. Or
yeah,
Quiznos?
that's-
It's
Is
the
that
kind of
still a thing?
sandwich you throw in the trash.
Mhm. This man doesn't like sauces.
No, he doesn't really like sauce at all.
I like ketchup. I like regular mustard, like gold mustard. I like a lot of barbecue sauces, but typically not vinegar based and typically not mustard based. However, there have been exceptions to both. But straight up oil and vinegar on a sandwich, get the fuck out of here.
He loves mayo.
That's
live
legit.
Facebook. He
Yeah.
fucking loves
Wait a
it.
minute.
Fucking hates that shit. I almost got beat to death once for putting it on him. So
At Saucer.
that's a real
amazing.
At
thing.
Saucer.
Oh, that's great.
Well, that's
we were a couple
that's the
beers
secret
in.
condiment agenda there.
Took
It
a
is
bit
called
on my
the
finger,
saucer.
Put it on his face. He was like, "Motherfucker!" He looked at me like death.
The girl I was dating at the time was sitting next to me, and her face, she just was like, like I can't believe he just did that. And I was looking at Mac like,
Speaking of
Die.
barbecue sauce, Lidl carries a sour cherry barbecue sauce that tastes an awful lot like McDonald's barbecue sauce.
Which I'm okay with.
And
that's
I
Actually, you know what that is?
dipping some nuggets in.
I think that used to be
no.
Bullseye.
What I did was
I think it might have been.
I think it was.
what I did was take 2 parts that barbecue sauce and 1 part olive oil and marinate 8 chicken legs with that for 24 hours and then grill them.
Yeah.
Solid.
Oh, I'm so ready for food after this.
So I'm playing with the idea of grilling up something tomorrow. If you feel like you need to be invited, let me know, fellas.
Permission to be invited.
Come on down. You know where to find me.
All right, sweet. God almighty, yes. Anywho, New Holland has introduced a bourbon barrel seltzer.
Did you see that
pardon?
New Holland has a bourbon?
I knew about Rogue, but
Yeah. Did you have Ro-
yeah, at your house.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had it at your house.
New Holland
it's
has a
expensive, but
bottled
it's
and
good.
bond bourbon.
Oh my!
How old
Wait a-
is
wait
that
a
guy?
second. Is
Because
that
I
on my news?
Couple months ago, I
was
think.
about to say that's
It's
not old.
It's not super recent, but I only recently saw about it.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah. I of course have not been able to find it, or else I would definitely have told people. But yeah,
I'm trying
What
to
do
get
they
everybody in
make
the picture.
usually? Because I'm trying to envision. I know New Holland, but I can't remember.
Dragon's Milk.
Yeah. Makes
Yeah.
sense. I got bourbon barrel dragon's milk now. So
Well, I mean they've been
Yeah.
making bourbon barrel Dragon's Milk. However, I don't know whose they were using, but now they can start using their own. I
yeah,
suppose.
That's awesome.
sure could.
Keep it in house. Because I mean, once you use the bourbon, you can't technically use it again because it's now used oak. So you could use it for other things. Usually Scotch. You sell it to a Scotch company
Or Irish.
Yeah, or like rum is sometimes now starting to be finished in it. There's a company called Foursquare, not to be confused with the old
Oh
program.
wow!
I'll check
that,
into
that,
that.
that,
AKA
that changed for
Swarm.
Swarm. Yeah, like, once it became Swarm, it was less fun. Like Foursquare had all the crazy discounts. Like, I checked into a thing, it says I can get a thing. Like,
Yeah.
Here's your free French fries.
That was
sweet.
tight. That was,
Yeah.
those
By
were
the way,
good
I'm only
times.
going to be feeding the new car bourbon barrel aged motor oil.
Hey.
Interesting.
What do you have to start using for it?
0W20 like the last one.
Actually,
And
that's
the one
yeah.
prior was 5W20 since it was a 20-year-old engine.
Mine is 10W60.
That,
Excuse me?
yeah,
Yeah.
M3s are like that. The
Heard of that.
That's about the only car that uses it, probably.
the S2000
Like,
is still
I can
1030.
I can at
Was
least
it?
still buy
6 quarts.
0W20
Mine's
at
like
Costco for $20 for like a generous supply of it.
How many quarts of oil does the 8-liter V10 in a Viper take?
14.
12. 3 gallons of oil.
Fuck.
I mean, that's a
Jeez.
massive fucking engine.
And
though.
the
Yeah,
thing
it
is,
is.
like, they are fucking.
But you have to
stoned.
think that's a V10 that takes just barely more than my inline 6.
Right. But the thing about it too is they are stone dead reliable because they're so overbuilt because it's 8 liters, but it only really makes about 500 horsepower. So it's really,
It's not an
It's not
overtaxed
strained.
Right.
giant
Yeah,
lump.
it's not strained.
Yeah, it's
you know?
not a strained engine. It's just a strained driver because they're hard as fuck to drive.
Yeah.
With-
At least the first gen.
They
I
are.
found the
but,
interior
straight line.
dimensions rivaling the Hummer H1. It's
Little
like
squirrely.
Yeah.
driver's seat, giant middle part,
Yes.
passengers way over there. They're in a
You could
different
throw a
zip
football
code.
to 'em.
Yeah,
But the tire tech, the reason they were also squirrely is because tire technology was shit back then. You
That's
put
true.
a modern set of Pilot Sport Cup 2s on, and
that
it
are
just-
probably this wide.
Oh, they're 350,
They're literally as big as this
345.
table.
Honestly, probably is about that wide then.
Yeah, it looks like one solid back tire on the back. Tubular man.
what a drag radial.
Oh my god! I
The
saw the
steamroller.
I saw the
Steamroller
funniest
Viper.
shit. It
That's
was
basically what it looks like.
drag queen overthrown by drag peasants.
Well, now that Prince Philip's out, I can't wait to see what happens.
Oh lord!
It's a V10 Lamborghini with twin turbos versus a Honda Civic with
Yeah.
with a fat ass turbo.
Yes. But you know what? It's fun.
Yeah,
It'll be the facetious and the fortuitous.
Dude.
So the slow and the tedious. Busch Beer is hosting a contest seeking the first K9 chief tasting officer of its Busch Dog Brew. The winning dog and owner get $20,000. None of us have dogs.
Nope.
My brother in his Charlotte days was a big Busch fanatic. His taste has
It's
since
not bad.
improved.
It's
But
not bad
I
for
like
what
Busch
it is.
Ice. I like the ice better than the regular.
Well, Busch Light was what I drank a bunch of.
Yeah, one year for Halloween, he had a bunch of the boxes made into his suit. He was the Busch Knight for Halloween.
Two interesting things that reminded me of. One, did you ever see the Busch Bushel? It was the 56 pack of beer that you could get in certain states.
Goodness.
Well, we were having a talk about that the other day, and I was talking about that, and somebody else brought up did you ever see the Pabst Blue Ribbon 99?
No.
It was
Heard of
literally
that.
a 99 pack of beer. It was 3 wide by 33 long.
So it was like
Wow,
so it was like a pizza by the foot from
That
Little
is-
Caesars.
Yeah,
That
right,
is
right back in
really-
the back of the day, that long ass box.
That is really testing the limits of cardboard integrity at that point.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
and
That's great.
and transportation ability.
Yeah.
Prince for that one.
You could tie your fucking beer to your roof rack's not really a good look.
99 problems,
Or
but a beer
maybe.
ain't one.
Yeah, that's great.
No, that's when you needed to have a ladder rack with a ladder on it. Then you put it on top of the ladder.
True.
Problem solved.
Or use
yeah,
it as
the-
a strut bar.
The
There you go.
biggest pack of beer I've seen in a store was when Costco used to carry Kirkland Light.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 48 pack of beer for $30.
Nice. Yeah,
That's great.
It was
30 racks for
vile.
the
It
biggest.
was-
Coming at you with the
It
savings.
was so bad.
Yeah, 30 racks for the biggest I've seen in the store.
The Citra Hop IPA they have right now that's $20 for a 24 pack doesn't suck.
Really?
It's cheap and good. Better than the bottles had been when they were carrying those.
The biggest one I saw was the Miller High Life cubes.
30 packs.
It was a 30. Yeah, it was a 30 pack, and it was on special at Winn-Dixie time ago.
Dating yourself here.
$9.99 for a 30 pack.
Goodness.
So Toby and I bought 4 of them, And I promise you, like, we felt like we drank them all the time, and somebody kept sneaking in the house and putting 2 more back. I just can't fucking get rid of that much beer.
So my friend Andy's birthday one year, his 21st birthday, we went to go get a keg from Harris Teeter, and we happened to walk through the beer aisle, and Busch Light cases, 24 packs, were on sale for $7.77.
Jesus.
What a deal!
Limit 4 per person. Thankfully, there were 4 of us there.
So,
So we walked out with 16 cases of beer
I spent
for,
no money.
for less than the price of a keg.
They never ran that sale again.
Never mind that. Less than the price of like just one night out downtown on the weekend.
Yeah, it was. But like literally, we just poured it all into the bathtub, and for like 2 weeks, it was just like you said. There was just more beer.
Steve, I don't think he meant pour it.
No.
Oh,
no.
No.
Wow,
No.
nasty
That would be
motherfucker.
that would be brave.
God damn, that
They're
was
like,
I just stick my head
what,
in.
dude,
Solo cup scoop.
a bathtub's really difficult to clean, man. What the hell?
it would probably
Actually, it would clean it for you.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
And then your
Yeah,
insides
you
would
on
go.
what 4% ABV?
What are you doing to me?
It's just
Yeah, if you survive bathtub Busch Light shenanigans, you don't need a
Half
co-
the
you
half the
don't need
stuff
a
I drank in
Kovacs.
college.
Yeah.
I'm probably good for life now.
Yeah.
By the way,
Purely
Monday is going to be
sanitized.
my second dose.
Mine will be next Friday.
mine's next Friday, and I got to go play a show that night too. So
I got the J&J, bitches. I'm done.
hope you don't get a blood clot.
Done or done?
I'm done.
Yeah, that was a one and done. So,
Unless I get a
you-
clot,
No, but I
then
mean,
I'm
like,
actually
yeah,
done.
That's why I said the done.
Okay. Yeah, good
It's
point.
interesting
good
you
point.
say that. Like, Kellen's had her blood clotting issues, but has the Pfizer. Her brother, though, may be demonstrating similar anatomies of that.
Yeah, I
He
was,
got the J&J. He's like, oh shit,
But
Ryan.
it's literally, I think they said 1 in 6 million.
Yeah, you're
Right.
And
was-
only,
keep those
and only
numbers.
one person has died.
It was 6 in 6 million, so one in a
that's
million.
true, yeah.
Like,
Honestly, you just
never mind
have
how
bad luck
awful
at
that Guns N'
point.
Roses song
That's what
is.
I'm calling it. It's bad luck, because yeah, any of these vaccine side effects, we gotta just like put all the numbers in front of them. It's just so minuscule.
Yeah,
Like,
it
the
really
risk
is.
To the
For what
reward.
it's protecting against, absolutely.
entirely. Dude, COVID sucks. Had that back in February of 2020.
We assume.
Sick as
Bless you.
a dog.
Wait, you had it then?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So
I
we
thought
got
it was
two survivors
bronchitis.
among us.
Yeah. I genuinely thought it was bronchitis.
It's possible I had it too, but because I got really, really, really sick after going to Guatemala in February
Well,
of 2020.
I think there's like it's a theme because there a lot of people that I've talked to is like, oh yeah, I got deathly ill in January or February of last year. I'm like, hey, welcome.
I
had it.
I never got tested for the antibodies, so I don't know.
Same.
And now it's too late because I've
Same.
got the vaccine.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly.
have you guys ever seen
Yeah, I only
the
had-
origin of like where the first vaccines came from? It's incredible.
Smallpox.
Did somebody spit
It
in
was
your
smallpox.
mouth? Or?
No, it was way fucking worse than that.
Oh god.
It's way worse than that. You'd rather make out with a homeless person right now than I don't know where that came from. Anyway, so what they did was they found somebody that died from smallpox, and they would take the cadaver around to villages and scrape them with a knife, the cadaver, and then take that same knife and scrape you with it too. That's how they.
What
That's
are
how
we
the first
even
vaccines
doing
were.
out here.
I think I'd rather just
something
die.
a little kinder, gentler that they discovered that the ladies that were milking cows would get cowpox, which was a lesser version of smallpox, and that's why they call it vaccines, because vodka is the cow.
Uh-huh.
By the way, the band The Vaccines, best band y'all are not listening to.
That's true because I've never heard of them.
But
Now you-
is there
now
a
you
group
know.
of people outside when they play that just protest every show they have?
Yes.
Called never mind. You know where I'm going.
As of last year.
You know where I'm going with
Yeah,
it.
we call they're English, so we call them the Tories.
Next up, Sean, this is for you. What bourbon was voted best bourbon in the world in 2021 for this year?
Is it something I would know?
Yes, it's one of those that everybody says they want, and it's not Pappy.
The next one that I could think of would be Weller.
Weller was voted the
Weller
best bourbon in the
107
world.
or
It just said Weller actually.
Because there are
I think it was the
several.
red label.
So, yeah, that's the 107, which, by the way, is night and day better than the green label.
Okay. I'm good on beer. I'm going to require some more.
That is so
Okay.
good.
Okay.
By the way,
Oh, the Dickel? Yeah. I'm ready to I'm ready to taste what it's like after sitting for a couple days too, because it's really good already, but
It does change.
Yeah.
Okay, so this right here, this is something that's a little unique for multiple reasons. One, this is from Barrel Spirits. So Barrel Spirits, I don't know if you've seen them around, but they don't distill their own stuff. They source barrels and they mix things.
Mm-hmm.
So they're master blenders essentially.
Spicy.
I dig it.
I'm a master blender too.
But this one is extremely interesting. It's called
Are
the
you
Armida.
a ninja?
It is bourbon whiskey finished in pear brandy, rum, and Sicilian Amaro casks.
Bring it on, bro. That
Amaro?
sounds
So
amazing.
Amaro is like kind of like a Campari.
Oh, okay, so that
Something like medicinal-ish
Yeah.
kind of taste.
Yeah, well, mixer,
likes Campari.
dude.
But
Bang
it's,
gang.
it's
Are you familiar
also
with
cask
the-
strength.
Are you familiar with the hilariously named Negroni cocktail?
Yes.
That's in frequent rotation at the house. By the way, Campari kicks the snot out of the Martini Rossi bitters.
all right, so that
There's a reason
that's
Campari is the
yours.
go-to.
Steve has
and
his.
this, like I said, is cask proof. This is 113.9.
I'm
Fuck
going to
yeah.
show the camera. After.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
Well, that's mine.
Camera, zoom, enhance,
Here was the Dickel.
enhance,
That's the Dickel.
enhance.
You want a Dickel pick?
Dickel's just fun to say. Let's be
Steve,
real
you wanna
about
pass
it.
me your glass?
Si, senor.
And then pass Max down as well.
Fancy
high-five.
bourbon, good brr. I really like that
15
meme.
year go brr.
I really like that meme a lot.
It's a good one. It's a real good one.
So
Your glass.
that's quite a mouthful too. So this was
That's what she said.
You want to pass this down for him?
Thank you, sir.
this sounds delightful.
So this is
Really
one
does.
that I opened and I sipped and I was not sure that I was a fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I sipped it again and sipped it again. Now
Whoa.
the nose I really
There's
enjoy.
a lot going on in the nose.
There is there's a lot.
Incredible.
And you can
Fruity.
pick out like the pear brandy and you can
Yeah.
pick out the rum, and then when you taste it, it also is going to be very interesting.
All right. So if you don't mind, how much was it?
So I got this for a steal. I got it for 72.
That's reasonable.
Typically it goes between 90 and 105.
Nice.
I lucked out
Oh my
and got it for
God.
it. So when I first opened it, it was not my favorite.
Yeah.
And then I sipped it, and then Karn and I poured another glass of it, and we're like, this is pretty good. It's so complex.
It
It
is.
is. But you literally get the brandy, the rum, and then you get the bourbon finish.
Yeah.
There is no bite on that either. That is.
I
the-
feel some burn, but I don't feel an unpleasant burn.
It smells so good though. I love how
It really
Steve,
does.
Steve
It's
looks
got
like he's having a
fruity-
moment.
And it's funny because it's true.
It's got a fruity bouquet, you know?
It really does. It is one of the most complex bourbons I've ever had.
So,
Although the question is, do you still consider it bourbon?
I was gonna go there with that because like some people don't like any sort of. Some people I've talked to don't like anything finished in it. They want to taste what it tasted like in a barrel.
at
They don't want it
inception.
finished in something. They want to. But I'm kind of the opinion that if it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
And
There are some things that, as they are brewed in the barrel, are distilled, I suppose, are not that great. But when you finish it with something, it balances out the bitterness or something, the bite that's in there. It makes it something truly unique and delicious.
like if you did a young bourbon but did it in a port cask,
Yes.
you would sweeten it up the burn because that's what you do.
Yeah.
Um,
And
but fucking
impart
great.
it with a little more flavor too.
for sure. Yeah, that's just fantastic.
I think if it's good, it's good. And can apply to many more things than just bourbon.
Well, that's true,
That's
but-
just a combination. I like a blend. I like a mix up.
I do too, but it's why Old Mecklenburg I enjoy the beer, but at the same time it's like I couldn't go there every month because it's really
it's the same.
The same.
Beers.
You have four
Only
flavors.
be if you're listening. It's like licking pennies. I need help. I used to drink O&B Copper.
Well, go
by the
ahead.
gallon.
Also,
Drink
sorry if
Copper
this is a
and
little
Sam
warm.
Adams
It
Boston
was in
Lager
my car
back to
all
back. Tell me the difference.
Honestly,
It is.
You know,
it truly
it's
is
like
one of
they're-
the most
they're
complex.
good, but it's
so
yeah, it's
the
next time you
baseline
come
beers
over,
are.
we have
the
something
rest of the
else
beers.
that's
I wish
in-
they
on
do an
par with this.
IPA, but
What
it's
is it,
but it's not a
Court
German style beer. Nah.
Was it Court Shoes that they had, or is that somebody else?
Court
No,
Shoes
that
is-
was at Middle James.
Actually, everybody had a Court Shoes, didn't they? No, what was the
one
what was
of
the one
them?
they?
That's
Black
what.
is Beautiful was one of the ones.
Black is
that
Beautiful, but Court Shoes. I think it was a collaboration.
Oh, okay,
Was,
because,
that might have been a collaboration.
Because
effort.
I was at Middle James Sunday, the day before
Good, isn't it?
Car Quest.
They had some Hornets.
I did everything
one.
else. I saw it on the board.
Oh,
Like
okay.
Something
I
had
got
to do
who
with the
knows what, and I
Hornets.
made a weird request, and the guy thought I wanted like these two beers mixed, so they met
Oh.
on the house. It didn't suck,
Bald
but it was
guy, tattoos?
weird. At Middle James,
Yeah.
Because
Because Brian and I are friends with that guy. Really nice guy.
Right on
Talking
that.
about
Everyone was
mixing
cool
beers,
there, but
though, I
Yeah.
remember somebody at the Saucer a while back being a huge proponent of mixing beers, and mind you, tried them out when they were
But that's not
suggesting
kosher.
it. But there might be something to that. I don't think it's been explored nearly enough.
Well, there are some. There are definitely some people that have mixed some of their beers together, and some of them actually do like we said, blending, like make a really delicious mix of stuff together.
For sure.
And sometimes it's an utter complete failure.
Yeah,
Disaster.
I forgot who told me, but they went to Resident Culture and like they were like, hey, you know what sounds good? It would be good to mix this one and this one, and like the guy behind the counter was like, we don't mix our beers here. Like,
Well,
okay,
fuck you,
funny,
Dan.
funny thing about Resident Culture,
yep, I know what you're gonna say, but say it.
they've got the same IPA but in different strengths. It's
Boo.
ranging from 4% through 8% in about 3% or 0.3% increments. It's bizarre. Like, it's all some sort of hazy New England IPA, but like this one's this strong, and this one's this strong, and this one's this strong, and this one's this strong. It's like, I can't tell.
It's like, do you want the same flavor but more fucked up?
Yes.
The guys on
So, Top Gear, top tip: get the strongest one you can afford.
the guys,
anyways,
the guys
yeah.
on the beer, the guys on the beer, one of the beer pages on there, they all like beat each other off over how good the IPAs are at Resident Culture. And by the way, they're not bad.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
they're
totally
good.
Nothing
but,
wrong
like,
with that.
But yeah, they were going up against Burial in the finals, and like they were voting on the best IPA. I'm
And-
like, get the fuck
Dude,
out of here.
Sierra
Barrel's the one-
Nevada,
and
by the
Barrel's the one
way,
coming
is
to
that
Plasmid,
motherfucker
right?
Yes.
for IPAs. Like, I think that they have run the show for a long time. I don't know.
I haven't been to Res Cult since I sold Eric a slew of pirated video gaming devices.
Ooh,
He wants
dun,
those, by the way.
dun, dun.
Allegedly.
You go to
Gang, gang.
Facebook jail.
Allegedly. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. You don't
Funny
know.
you mentioned that.
Yeah, it's
I'm currently on thin
Go
ice.
suck yourself.
Don't
Yeah, apparently
suck us.
AJ can post this video. I cannot.
That's true. I'm living vicariously.
Did
Steve's
it-
living vicariously through me.
Did
is what
it did it pop up saying anything about my status on that?
No.
I'm currently in Facebook purgatory until mid-May.
Interesting.
That thread I've kept going since leap year.
Yeah.
A few things the bots have not agreed with.
Fuck the bots.
Wow.
Bots have gotten it
Transformers
wrong
don't
a
agree
few
with
I
times.
tried, and they
be
look
sure.
nothing like the ones on Austin Powers. All I want is some good machine gun titties.
Yes.
So before we move on, this Armida, they have a new
The Nissan?
release that just came out.
Spanish Armida?
That's Armada.
What's
So
that?
I hope to get a bottle of this tomorrow. But it's called the Seagrass. It's a rye whiskey finished in Martinique rum,
Kick his
Madeira,
ass,
and
Seagrass.
apricot brandy barrels,
Kick his ass, seagrass.
Damn.
and should be close to 120 proof.
I'm thinking about running to South Carolina tomorrow because they have the Ezra books at 99.
So actually, right down the street, not this ABC, but the other ABC down this way, back towards the city.
Albemarle?
If you go past Lawyers,
Yeah.
So they had about 12 bottles of the Ezra 99. There.
Is it good?
We haven't opened ours yet.
Okay.
We want to do an Ezra flight because we've got several Ezras now.
Well, the
Classy as fuck.
yeah.
So instead of better than Ezra, it's going to be the best of Ezra.
Basically, yes.
No, the guy who Keith, the guy who
Yes.
runs Southern Spirits, he had said that the Ezra 99 is kind of like the trifecta with Early Times and the other.
Which
Like in
I have
Early
4
Times.
bottles of
It's
Early
so
Times at
fucking
home.
good.
That shit
I
is
have 4
great.
bottles of that.
I'm convinced though anything that says bottled in bond on it's dynamite.
Well, so by the way, then if you haven't already gotten it yet, the ABC store right now does have the old granddad bottle and bond on sale.
I know, but I still have like the really big bottle I got.
Of the bottle and bond one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, downstairs.
Old
Gotcha.
Granddad is the reason
Old
that
tub.
George Thorogood's I Drink Alone
but honestly-
gets even better the more I
Uh-huh.
listen to it. Like, oh.
It's good, but the Early Times blows it out of the doors.
Yeah,
I'm good.
fair.
Wait, old granddad?
No,
No, I'm
the
talking about
tub.
old tub.
I haven't opened the old granddad.
Yeah. All right, so I like the old tub, but the Early Times does
Yeah,
beat the
blow
old
it out
tub.
of the water to me.
And
To
the
me.
old granddad is honestly, it's not becoming my go-to because I really still like Elijah Craig is probably my favorite go-to. But the old granddad bottled in bond is just abso-fucking-lutely for the money, dynamite.
All right, so what we'll need to do one day, we'll have to do a flight of bottled and bond stuff. Car and I picked up a bunch of like really cheap bottled and bond stuff, and
Yeah.
we were going to do that one.
I got
day.
the Wilderness Trail downstairs too, but you said you
cheap.
had
Like I'm talking like cheap, like
yeah.
like bargain ones. So we have like the JW Dent, the JTS Brown, the like all
the
these
Evan
like
Williams?
25 and under bottles.
How was the Evan Williams bottled in bond?
I don't have that one.
Really, it's $17, and like
Well, shit.
I keep like
I'll
wanting,
find that out for you.
I
can
keep
do
like
that.
wanting to go like just get it because it's $17 and they have it like all the time at the ABC store. I just never. Somebody go grab it, but let me turn the alarm
Will
off
do.
first.
Yeah, good deal.
Here, it's currently
Let's do the
a
show.
quarter
I'll just
to
run
7,
out again and
so,
knock it out.
If we're out of here, 8:45 or so, we can go and do that.
Yeah.
I told you about my dad's 4 wise men, right?
Yes,
4 Horsemen of the
John,
Apocalypse.
Paul, George, and Ringo.
Jack, Jim, Evan, and George.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, he was not yet aware of Henry, but it's got to be the 10, and the Hen 10 is impossible to find now.
And ever since it became the whiskey of the year in 2018 or 19,
Yeah,
it's
because
just
it was
the 10
back in
years impossible.
16. That was $30 and easy to come by.
Now it's $100 fucking dollars.
What?
Hen 10.
The
Hennessy?
Henry McKenna
Oh,
10
oh.
year.
So yeah, no.
It vanished. Like back in the day, it's like that was
Yeah.
awesome because standard Henry, not that hot.
Yeah, $50.
That's why my go-to cheap
is what
whiskey
it
is now
should
Black
be.
Velvet 8 year.
Here, have a Jack Daniels. Steve brought that because it came out of one of the cars. That car. He
I
keeps
have
bringing me
found the
random
weirdest
shit.
shit at work, by the way.
It's a Jack Daniels Audi.
Oh.
And that's a nice keychain. That's
I
like
mean, yeah, that's
a metal-
solid. And you get the leather and
you could beat up a
damn.
midget with that.
Let's call him.
Wow.
Wow, wow, wow.
Little person.
Thanks, sir.
Sorry, and Emily.
Speaking of Jack Daniels, the one whiskey I am on a super hunt for, and I have yet to find, I've been looking for months now, is the Jack Daniels single barrel proof rye.
Interesting. Is it in the square bottle?
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
Interesting,
but
'cause-
don't get it confused with the single barrel rye.
Or like
it's
the
the
gentleman-
single barrel proof
proof
rye.
rye.
And don't get it confused with the single barrel proof. You got to add the rye there. I have had the
Who's
barrel
naming this
proof
because I'm
one.
going to beat them with a hammer?
Yep.
The single barrel
barrel
proof
barrel.
is
Need a beating.
phenomenal. It puts like Stag Junior and things like that. It puts a run for the money, and it's readily available right now.
So those guys,
But is it the Triumph stack?
the cheaper
It's a
stuff
fancy
gets.
car.
It's not cheap though. It is still $60.
No, not that. I mean, like when they
No, it's
make
not
like
bad.
the companies
It's
who
not.
traditionally like Jim Beam and Jack Daniels, like they're good when they try and they like really they're going to sell the black label Jack Daniels fucking hand over fist. But when they do the barrel picks and all that shit. All that stuff's really good, and it gets a lot of hate that it shouldn't get.
No, absolutely. That's like I said, that is up and running with the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. Do yourself a favor and get a bottle of that. Not the rye one because it's fucking impossible to find, but you can get the barrel proof, barrel proof one.
What would you do if I talked to Corin and she said you like that, and I just went in the closet and pulled one out for you? All right, cool. Well, I don't have it, but what's that behind your ear? Oh, boy, we got derailed. MIT scientists have translated spider webs into music.
Sweet. I'm listening to it.
They said it sounds really creepy.
Bet it does.
Which
they typically are
it's a murder nest.
Creepy stuff, so.
You know.
By the way, the song Spiderwebs by No Doubt is not creepy.
And
yet,
No
it's
Doubt.
creepy.
That's a fucking jam, bro.
I love the smell of this.
Oh, so yeah, that's that. I would.
I'm just huffing it over
smells
here.
like
I haven't even drank.
It smells like a confetti cake.
Have you ever done the?
It does.
You're right.
Have you ever poured
Smells like
the bourbon or
funfetti.
whiskey in your hands and like burned it off?
Yep.
And then smelled it like it's.
Yeah, I have. It's been a while, and only when the distillery did it for me, so I'm not wasting my own booze.
Right.
That's fair.
But yes.
Wait,
That's
I've
fair.
still got the hand sanitizer from a year ago in the early pandemic times when the liter of distillery hand sanitizer was $10. It smells like burning.
Yeah,
and tastes like
yeah.
burning because, like,
Makes a damn
obviously
good
this
mixer.
looks-
Why are you drinking your hand sanitizer?
It tastes.
it's from a distillery. Like, it smells apart. These must be investigated. Totally, yeah.
If you're pouring
it smells
your
and tastes apart. So I think that's the attribution of my health, much like the Yellow Listerine from back in the day. Never mind, purple tastes better.
It's my favorite Bush song.
Purple tastes better.
Listerine.
Interesting. I was gonna say if you're pouring
oddly
your,
enough, it's from Faber Distillery,
Oh,
which is
really?
the college from Animal House.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Never
I've
mind,
still
it's
never
filmed in
seen
Oregon.
Animal House.
You don't like movies, but watch that one.
Okay.
that's a great movie. Yeah. I was gonna say if you're pouring out anything bottle wise, and you just get a little like sliver, like if it just drips off the top,
Yeah.
that's what you put in your hands, rub together, and
Yeah,
puff
fair.
it.
That's
yeah,
fair.
it's great. Love that.
Here's a fun story.
I keep licking my hands doing that.
Yeah, that is
Was
a
in the
problem.
plot.
Mike Mccready, the guitar player from
AIC.
that's Jerry Cantrell. Think Seattle.
Oh,
I did.
AFI. Hey, Miss Murder, can I?
From Pearl Jam. Mike Mccready from Pearl Jam. Recounts of
You're asking me this stone's throws like as I'm drinking what now?
Mike Mccready from Pearl Jam recounts a story of when he got his 1959 Fender Strat and got a 59 tattoo on his arm, and then later found out his Strat was a 1960 model. Whoops.
He asked for a 13, but they
Drew
drew
a
a 31.
Still makes for a damn good. You know what? Even if it gets fucked up, it still makes for a damn good story.
yeah. I mean,
Does.
it's pretty fly.
Guy.
I don't hate the song, but Offspring had such other good songs that it's like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
you
for
hate
sure.
that that's what the lay person would know them for.
Actually, all of their songs sound like. Dun, 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 dun,
There are a lot of similarities.
Yeah,
all their main hits
Yeah,
on the
have
radio
you-
did sound very similar, but all their other
Yeah,
stuff
it's like
was
they
mixed.
could
Yeah,
never
or
play
it's
Bad Habit on the radio.
not with that attitude.
Because that's a 1994 song about road rage. Well, that's still
Crazy
a thing.
Taxi. No.
Oh, you crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy Taxi was a fun ass game though.
That's the other part of
Thanks,
their
Dreamcast.
What a-
Which is funny is like it's a bunch of dumb songs from a microbiologist. It's like so there's that.
That's not a real job.
It's like small shit. What does any of this matter, Dexter? Who are you gonna murder today?
Omelette du fromage.
Omelette du
I'm gonna call him
fromage.
Dexter Netherlands. Nah.
It's whatever Dexter you want it to be.
That's the only episode of Dexter I remember. Is Omelette du fromage.
Yeah, that checks.
Dexter's Laboratory, rather.
Yes.
Instead
Yes.
of the show Dexter is fantastic, the little bit I've seen. And
Yeah, it is.
it's,
It's a good show.
get your plastic sheeting at the dollar store. It's cheaper there. That's all I'm saying.
Our knives that we use at work are branded by Dexter. Dexter is a knife company.
Yikes.
And
Did you see that they're bringing back the Dexter series?
I did.
And he said the only reason he would come back would be if he thought it would be like it would bring clarity and end to the whole series.
Good.
Yeah,
I heard it
'Cause
didn't.
The books are great.
Yeah, what's next? The Sopranos reboot?
I wasn't too.
Or did
Too
you stop
upset at the
or
end.
or did you stop believing?
I definitely.
Which is what
I watched all of it.
Which is
through
what
and watched
watch
it
all
again.
of it
Journey
through,
will
yeah.
make you do.
I've never watched an episode of The Sopranos.
You know?
It's a really interesting story.
It
like
is.
overall, the whole arc and like it really gets into some depth into how the family runs and the inner like politics and stuff of it. So like it really is an interesting. It's taking something like The Godfather or taking oh gosh, what was the one where they went out to Vegas? Not Goodfellas, but oh gosh, which was the one was like
Swingers.
No. With like not DeVito. Gosh,
De Niro?
I'm gonna Blake
Pesci.
yeah, Pesci and De Niro.
Casino?
Casino.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like it's like
Casino.
taking all that
Dude,
stuff and going way
Pesci
more
is a
in depth.
monster in that movie.
The Casino is a fantastic movie.
For sure.
Fantastic one.
Honestly,
Have you-
all
have you
those
seen
are
it?
interchangeable. You could just
Man, the answer to any AJ, have you seen it? Is usually
All right.
no, but
right.
That's
this is one
Smoking Aces.
what year to come out?
Fucking
Smoking
love that movie.
Aces.
Oh
was
wow, okay. So,
fucking sick. The
Okay.
second one,
So-
me.
extra good for
haven't-
you would
first
be
one
it
shouldn't.
deals with casinos.
sure.
So there's extra
better off
interest
just
there
remembering
in
that
like, how
Prodigy
they were trying to
song
rig games
from
and
Smoking
stuff
Aces.
like that.
It's
Speaking of
cinnamon
casinos,
roll. It's a roll of
Mac-
the cinnamon.
All right, so
How could
here's
go wrong with this?
actually this is. I kind of wish Toby was here. Do you know why?
Why is that?
Because then I'd have 4 people in front of me that were getting married this year.
Dude.
That's true.
Wow.
We
Talk
should have had
about
it.
that.
We should have had that. Yeah, that's incredible.
Is
Hey,
Toby right
shout
now?
out
first.
Toby.
He's second and he's third,
Yeah.
and then
We're
Toby.
a month apart, pretty much ish.
Wait, you said
Somewhere
yours
close.
was
Like 2 weeks after Toby's, I think.
no before. Toby's is the
Mine's 23rd.
Toby's like a couple
Toby's is
weeks
before.
after
I
mine.
thought Toby's was okay. So Toby's is yeah.
I finished out the series.
Nice.
Hopefully, it won't end like Dexter.
I'll go to your first funerals. and your
Murdered.
last one.
Everyone murdered. What? No.
4 weddings and a funeral. Ooh, yeesh.
A bunch
I've already.
of funerals.
I've been to one I've been to a gay wedding this year, and it was the most fucking fun.
I bet it was.
Yeah, I told it on
Fucking
air.
throw a party. Bro.
One of the grooms walked down the aisle to "I touch myself." It was the best thing. I was like, your
Yes.
parents would have fucking killed me if I would have done something like that.
You know, for what it's worth, mine might be the only encore wedding for the bride. Only this time around, her family is actually looking forward to this one.
Oh, that's
so,
good.
got
Hey.
That is a solid plus in your favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
because the whatever happened 10 years ago, they were kind of terrified, and there was proof. This one, they're actually kind of gung ho for it. It's like I appreciate that, guys. Thank you.
I've got a meme for exactly this that my future brother-in-law showed me, and we just died. He actually showed my future parents-in-law last night, and I was like, oh God. But me, at a certain point in the relationship, you get to a point where you've seen your partner's butthole more than they have themselves. And I think there's something beautiful about that.
I saw that
Priest.
one, yeah.
Priest, the bride has also chosen to write her own vows.
I like that.
Oh, so just remember to jot that one down if you guys are doing vows.
That's-
oh boy,
You
That's
know,
just gonna
what would
cry
be
the whole
magical
way
is if I
through.
said that in French.
Oh my
yeah.
god, you should
Wow.
do it.
Sounds so much better.
You know,
You should do it.
the
And
French
her
side of
French
the
family
aisle,
would be like,
English people are like, "What is he saying?"
their family, it's so beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It would,
so
it would sound beautiful too. That reminds me of when Jon Stewart was in Half Baked. He's like, "You ever seen that? You ever seen it on Week? Have you ever said it in
Ween,
French?"
man.
So funny in that.
Red team, go! Red team, go!
Meanwhile, I'm thinking about the fast food scene, like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, you're cool, fuck you, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Meanwhile, my department has lost 3 people in the last month, so
Yikes.
it's getting weird. The room rule is still being very generous to my imaginary situation, so that sounds nice.
Hey, we'll take it.
I'm getting impatient, but yeah, it's like it was supposed to be by first quarter. Well, now we're in the second quarter. Hello.
First quarter just got dragged out to second quarter, I feel like, in terms of the business world. Like, everybody was like, wait a minute, we're back? Oh,
and
God.
this is
and
why
it's
never-
scramble,
It's still
you know?
2020, guys.
And this
It's
quarter
2020 still.
nonsense is the reason
I'm
I
sorry.
don't
I don't
use
know what any
carts
of
at
you're talking
Aldi,
about.
man.
Nothing affected.
The
only
quarter's
thing
too
affected me
long.
was-
It doesn't fit.
It's a
Worse.
long quarter. It's a
No, literally nothing.
It's a
affected
third.
me.
We're gonna
Dude.
start doing this shit in thirds. Talking about
I
business.
never stopped working at the store, and
I
you
did.
never stopped working at the store.
No.
I never
You got-
stopped working.
You got COVID, so like you actually got like straight on affected, but literally nothing affected me other
man.
than nightlife or like hanging out with people and things like that. That was the only thing that affected me. Otherwise, I still every single day was in the office and quite a bit still traveled in really uncertain times.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
I keep going to the same place with the same people, so there have been some notices of a member of the facility has gotten it, so please be careful. Blah,
Don't
blah.
spit on me.
Yeah.
Dude, we can't do that because we have fucking animal customers that come in and take their mask off to lick their fingers to open produce
I
bags.
think what you need is a super soaker loaded with generic Texas
Look,
Pete.
I don't wanna
Airsoft
end up-
guns.
I don't want to end up on
Airsoft
World
guns.
Star.
Salt rounds.
Just with water bottles,
Salt
like
rounds.
for cats, and go.
I don't want to end up on a World Star video.
I mean, why not?
I'm
You
not
know?
going to get beat up.
I don't think you go down from a
there
World
may or
Star
may not
video,
have been
though.
a-
So
There may or may not have been a World Star event at work yesterday.
Really?
Think what the
Interesting.
publicity could do for you.
I witnessed none of it. It was like
do it for cars, bars, and
No,
guitars.
got the
my
podcast.
boss
the
said,
vine.
like, we need more excitement around here. It's like, what's happening? Because my inner monologue is always screaming. It's
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, nice.
okay.
Like a good fight. Like a good fight.
Well, some lady was like, hey, I'm going to buy 2 of those plants outside. And so she did, and she pulled her car up and then loaded 12 plants in her car and drove away. But I did get her tag.
Asshole.
Oh.
We're gonna find you, lady.
Not yet, but we're nearing the point.
Wait a minute.
Wait, what's
Why do
that
I
going on?
recognize that bottle?
Shouldn't.
Okay.
I
All
doubt. I doubt
Good.
you've seen it.
What's making the scraping?
right.
What's
I
making
thought
this
it was
tapping
the
noise against my
marshmallow one
pants?
that should not be named.
No,
Straight by my
Okay.
zipper.
No.
Okay, good.
I got 2 more bits of news for us. Joey Ramone will be played in an upcoming biopic. By which actor? Each of you get 2 guesses over who Joey Ramone from the Ramones is being played by.
Paul Rudd.
Are they alive or dead?
They are still. He is.
I would.
He is still
Weekend at
alive.
Bernie's.
I meant the actor.
Some zombie action. Hey, zombie movies are big this year. you know?
Yeah, it's gonna be Paul Rudd or Sean Connery. Go.
Zombie bop. So no, it's not Paul Rudd.
You've got red on you.
Ooh.
Do you get it? Okay.
I don't.
All right. So one of the best zombie movies ever.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yes,
And never mind, I spelled it wrong.
it's true. If you don't watch
it's-
any other zombie movie, watch
So I have to watch
Shaun of the
Casino
Dead.
and Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun
Can
of
I
the
watch them
Dead,
back
for
to
sure.
back?
You could because they were so different. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Steve guessed already. So there's 5 guesses, 2, 2, and 1. I would have not guessed that this person would have played.
I don't remember what he looks like. So my guess is
having trouble.
Celine Dion or
Steve, pull it up.
Avril Lavigne.
No, Steve will pull it up. But while he's doing that,
Whoa. We're
I said
wearing
up.
pants here, right?
I said up, not out.
That's still the problem.
Oh, I guess so, guys.
That's
what
the
if-
joke.
One of my old car buddies had like every time somebody had their fly open, he'd go, "Your fly's unzipped, but don't worry, what can't get up can't get out."
One of the jokes from Home Improvement back in the day: cheaper air conditioning.
That is,
Yeah.
I missed the ball chiller vents and the GMs.
I remember seeing memes of that, but I never have seen them.
Good stuff.
Let's see.
I would pull it up, but this computer is heavy, and my phone is videotaping us right
I'd
now.
pull it up, but I'm Sudan tired.
I just spoiled myself on it, so I won't say who it was.
I just happened to look over and saw Sudan.
Don't be a Chad.
I have my second answer.
You know what Chad is? A lake.
Right?
A Chad is a lake.
Yeah.
Or something
All right.
that's hanging off
Or an
of
Sean?
a voting thing.
Just so you know.
That's what he looks like.
Okay.
All right,
Is it Cher?
I
Is
have
Cher playing him?
I have my second answer.
I
right.
accidentally spoiled myself, so I can't.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Soiled or spoiled?
Spoiled.
Oh, so he
Not
can't,
soiled.
He can't guess. Would you have ever guessed that?
Never in
no,
my
no.
life
No.
would I have
All right,
guessed.
so
Benedict Cumberbatch.
no, not
Ooh,
that
that would have been a good one.
With that chin, come on.
No, not Benadryl Cabbage Patch.
One of many names he goes by.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's the name butcherings remain
Pterodactyl.
hilarious.
They're great.
Crumble snap.
got two-
I've got no idea.
Pete Davidson.
Wait. Oh.
Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
Is he
Yeah.
like
Bargain
really- is he
basement
really
Rami
tall or
Malek.
something?
You
Pete
know,
Davidson
Because
is
that's a
playing
the
couple
Jefferson.
of
resemblance is actually really
ugly
good.
people.
Is they had a side by side. I googled
Yeah,
Joey Ramone,
but-
and it's like, bam, Pete Davidson.
But
Like,
the side
fuck,
by
come
side
on.
actually, like Kristen Stewart is actually playing Princess Diana in the new bio, and she looks
That's
really close to Princess Diana.
insane. But I will watch the shit out of that.
Oh,
Absolutely,
Princess Diana was fucking boss,
dude.
man.
She was a beast.
She was beautiful too. Like,
Yeah.
just that classic.
Well, at the time, like the 80s, 90s, like beauty. Like
Yeah.
for that time frame, that's exactly
Have
what
the hair
was.
going on.
Yeah.
She
Absolutely.
was also a really outspoken advocate of everything, which
She
pissed
was.
off
Like,
the palace.
Yes, it did.
Which we won't get into conspiracy theories, but also like shit, man.
Jesus.
You know,
But Mac, did you hear that Princess
the palace
Di was
kind of sucks. Come to find out,
But did you hear that Princess Di was on the radio?
And she was dirty, according to Michael
and
Jackson.
the seats
Di?
and the windshield and the roof.
Oh,
Fuck.
yeah.
Hey,
On that
that's-
note, guys,
it's
I'm gonna
a
hit the old
joke. 2
Dusty
years
Trail.
ago.
I gotta go.
Well, Lisa Left Eye Lopez,
Hey,
she was too busy hanging out of her best friend's ride.
Fuck.
Ew.
Setting it on fire?
Sideways.
Hey, you can't
Andre
say
Rison.
Windsor without win.
That's fucking crazy. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, Philip's dead anyway, so we
Well, no,
take
Philip
that.
these
Let's-
nuts.
Let's face it.
Right, so because
Wasn't
of,
he already?
because of all
that,
that.
that was a rough 99.
walking cadaver for sure.
Yeah, but his hearse was Boss.
was it
Custom Land Rover.
what?
Land Rover truck.
Isn't that what he flipped over like a year or two ago?
But the funny part about, you know how royal families are all inbred. It was like, you know, it don't make fun of her. He's like, don't make fun of this because she didn't only lose her husband, she lost her brother and her uncle too.
What is this, Louisiana or?
No, all
Alabama?
royal,
Essentially.
yeah. All right, I'm ready for next.
That's why. What Meigs was such the controversy.
Meigs?
Meghan Markle.
Yep.
Oh
Yeah, that everything went so
I'm
sideways
sorry,
that
she's
way.
tan Casey Anthony.
Yo,
Also,
no,
yes.
she's not.
Have you? Do
Yeah.
you have eyeballs?
I like me a Meghan Markle. I like
Oh
her.
no,
Yeah.
I would still.
Yeah.
I like her. Actually, the
Mark Herkel. What?
Was that the guy in Family Matters?
That's Steve
Steve
Urkel.
Urkel.
Steve Urkel.
Did,
All right,
I,
guys.
did I do that? It's like, yeah, good news. BMW I said it.
Changing
Cool.
back to
I3,
sometime.
never cool.
shifting gears without the clutch.
You would know, but we're still on the right team.
Wait
All I
a
have to do
minute.
is flap a flappy paddle, and I'm good.
Flappy
I'm there.
paddle.
Fuck you, Jeremy Clarkson.
All right, so this we got on a random recommendation of somebody at a.
Hold it still, I can't read
The
it.
Italian Stallion.
This
We're,
we
are
got it.
are we gonna drink the
This
blood
was a
of
random
Sylvester
recommendation
Stallone?
from somebody, and we bought it, and it's around a $40 bottle, and it is pretty tasty.
I like the bottle.
This is from Memphis, Tennessee. Holding station from Old Dominic. They were around in like the 1800s, and they stopped producing for a long time, and then started again quite a few years back.
Well,
This
for
is
it's worth,
a
that,
high.
I was gonna say it was at least 14 years.
High rye.
This is a high rye mash bill, so there is going to be a little spice to it.
Gonna be some
Fine.
hella Ryan.
What's the ABV?
It is a 100 proof.
Okay.
I don't think it is classified as bottled.
Hey, are your headphones working?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
No,
it,
he-
but,
he-
it,
he-
I
but,
had a gap.
No, he
But
went
it
off
is-
like this
yeah.
right here, and then went to like, yeah.
but it is a very small batch. It is pretty tasty for the price. It's solid.
It doesn't smell like it has bite to it, though. It doesn't, like, sometimes you
It
can...
smells, it smells very sweet, like candy apple.
Hmm?
But it's definitely got that rye
Dynamite.
tingle.
No, I like
Rye
that.
tingle.
I like that. I don't actually taste any burn.
Boy,
I
oh
don't taste
boy,
any
that's
spice.
got some fire on it.
I don't taste any spice,
Yeah,
but maybe
so-
I've pickled my...
Well,
tongue.
yeah, to me, like, it's just got that tingle along the tongue as it goes down.
So you're talking about flavor spice, not like spicy spice.
like
Ginger spice.
like I'm trying to think some of the, like, the spices
Flesh.
that you could
Not like a
attribute.
tingle,
Not
not
black.
like a cumin spice, but like a
It's a tickle.
allspice spice.
Human spice.
Yeah, it just makes your tongue tingle.
Yeah.
Brought to you
Actually,
by
my
the Spice
tongue is
Humans.
Sun
tingling a little
tingler.
bit. Yep.
Yeah,
Spice humans.
Tongue tingler.
Is that politically correct?
like
It's a person
it's-
hole cover.
The Spice People.
A He-Man and It person.
It's a spice, not like a hot spice, like spicy hot,
Yeah.
but just like flavorful
Mm-hmm.
spiciness.
I'm afraid of the boogie person.
I mean, have you
It's
had
all
many-
body.
Have you had many ryes?
Not
Just
really.
a couple.
But
Okay.
downstairs I have Templeton 6, and then the Templeton, like the high,
The
like
cast strength one.
the
Yeah, I
cast
remember
strength.
that, yeah.
I have the
We had that at
Elijah
the cabin.
Craig Tinkle. I got the Elijah Craig rye, and then I got the Florida black rye that you said smells
So-
like tequila.
You wanted something crazy? Karin and I did a flight of ryes. We had 11 ryes in the flight.
Mhm.
And Karin picked correctly which one was the Elijah Craig.
Because it tasted like bourbon, didn't it?
Kinda. But she smelled it and she was like, "That's it. That's Elijah."
That's insane.
it was pretty insane.
and commendable.
It was
even
pretty
so.
insane because we had 11 ryes in that flight, which by the way was pretty awesome, but it made ranking really difficult.
But you had said, I think you told me the story that you did that, but I think you said the really that both of your favorite ones was the Midsummer Night's Dram.
Well, so we did not even put that one in
Oh,
because we accidentally put one finished rye in there. All the rest were not.
Mhm.
And Midwinter's Night Dram is a finished whiskey.
what's it finished in?
So good.
I think
So good.
it's port barrels.
Okay.
But it's like I probably would have guessed it right out the gate.
I have a bottle of port wine downstairs that's fucking dynamite.
So I
So-
love port wine. So
okay.
all right. So one of my favorite trips ever, I went to Portugal, and I went to
Ah.
I went to a Porto,
Yeah.
which is where port wine comes from. And you know what was great? We went to about 5 places there, and each of those places for €5, you could do a tasting. And they would take, normally you go to tasting of like a wine place, and they pour about this much into each glass.
Oh my goodness. Did you fly into Lisbon or did you fly into Spain and?
No, I flew straight into Porto.
Oh, straight into Porto?
Well, from Madrid. So
Okay.
we took
Madrid was lit.
it was a $50 round trip flight from Madrid to Porto. Yeah. And we spent two days. Here's the crazy thing. So we had our flight in and flight out of Oporto. We literally had nothing else booked. So we didn't even have a hotel. We flew into Porto, and it was like, all right, what are we
Let's
going to
figure
do?
this out. Yeah.
We literally had no plan, no place to
Good.
stay,
Good.
no car, no nothing.
That's great.
It was one of my most favorite trips ever.
I miss traveling.
That was me, Rachel King at the time, Gleason, and our
Kingson.
friend Jill.
I've never met Jill, but I've heard that name multiple times, and I know what she looks like because
Yeah.
people have posted pictures.
Yeah, she's been around in the group.
Very Polish
long.
last name.
Yes.
Jill's been
Yeah.
around.
She lives in Nashville, but that was definitely one of my more favorite trips because she was living in Spain at the time, and Rachel was coming
right.
back from
Was she roommates with
Israel.
Crazy Eyes?
Yeah.
And so
Laura.
Yeah. So Jill, excuse me. So Rachel
Apparently
and
now
I met.
stay the fuck out of Dallas.
Rachel and I met in Madrid to visit with Jill, and so did that whole thing. So it was a fantastic trip. But yeah,
Oh, I could have grabbed you one of them.
I need to put
That's legit.
I mean, what's another couple thousand amongst friends?
So I am.
But yeah, port wine, fantastic.
I love it. I have a
Love
really
port wine.
Taylor Fladgate. I have downstairs. We had it on pod one. You remember the port wine we had?
One that Brian brought.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I bought a bottle. It's so fucking
I may
good.
recognize the label. I don't
like
know
port wine?
many.
I haven't had enough to have an opinion.
Dude.
So Jason loves fucking port wine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I get that.
fucking
Nice.
loves port wine.
Really?
He has
Yes.
mentioned.
All right, so Mac is drinking another one of what he was drinking before.
Gang, gang.
Steve is drinking the same thing Mac's drinking.
Gang, gang.
And I'm still drinking my first drinking.
Gang, gang.
Well,
finish that. Figure out something else.
Honestly, I still have half this beer.
he's pacing himself, which is, I don't know what the fuck that is. I'm drinking an Omegang Three Philosophers Quad Ale, but
I do love Three
the
Philosophers.
double chocolate.
Oh my!
I thank you.
Try it. It's the double chocolate Three
Beer
Philosophers.
sharing as all
It
hell's
smells very
breaking
good.
loose
It's really
is
good.
coming to an end.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I'll
really,
allow-
really good.
Not as good as Samuel Smith, but still very good.
Yeah.
The
You
orgasmic
can have
chocolate
one
stout.
next if you want.
Oh, dude.
If you know what, I could get a glass, or if y'all want to share these like that, we can totally fucking do that.
Yeah.
Want to do that? Want to share?
Sharing beer.
Sharing is caring, and it can be
Yeah,
fun.
could do. Could do.
No, Sean. Sharing is Karin.
Fucking-
a little verklempt. A little verklempt. Yeah. So
I think it's call right now.
you should.
Should not.
then you should not.
No. I was Dexter.
I think what you
pod.
should do is take a sip of that whiskey. Actually, it is classified as bourbon. It is not made in Kentucky, but it does not have to be made in Kentucky to be considered bourbon. It has to be made in these United States of America, in New White Oak, and that's most of what it is to be made of bourbon.
Shit a lot.
Yeah, it's
I like it a lot.
it's $40 to $45, and they do have other lines, but that red label is the only one I've had, and it was pretty damn tasty.
Oh.
Yikes!
Wait a minute, can I borrow that for a minute? What's up, guys? This is Car Bars Guitars.
Is that what I sound like?
No, it's not.
It was darn close, guys. Darn close.
Howdy doody. This is AJ.
You
know
said
the story?
duty.
Do you know the story behind those?
No, I mean I know that was when you guys went to the your live podcast.
Yeah, they all, some of the regulars, Sandy and Dale, are the sweetest people in the world. If you're watching, hello.
Yay, Sandy and Dale.
And they made a bunch of cardboard cutouts of our faces, and then while we were recording, they handed them out to everybody that was there, and they all turned around at the same time, started waving them in front of our fucking faces. It was great.
It's a great time. That's a great bar, just in general.
You know, the people are great. The ambiance is great. The choice is, like, the choices they have are great. They always have a rotating list.
Exactly.
They got good food trucks. I'm sad because the owners are thinking about moving west, but, you know, the place will still be there.
You know, you got to do what you got to do. I certainly get that, but also keep that motherfucker there.
Well, we
'cause we're
could
gonna be
buy, we could
drinking
all
at that
buy it.
bitch. Hey,
We could all go quartersies and then just run it.
okay.
I'll be a
COVID will be
absent
done
owner.
at some point. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Absent
Sean, you
Colin.
pony up the money and then we'll run it.
How much we talking?
I don't know, but
Too much.
Give us a call. Yeah, let us know because that's an interesting thought. And
I think they opened that place for less than $50,000.
Pardon?
Yeah,
whoa, that's interesting.
I think.
That's
I mean, if you can find
That's
the
real
right
interesting.
spot,
thanks, brother.
it doesn't take a lot to
Cling, cling,
like
cling.
upfit it.
Omegang Three Philosophers double chocolate. You ever had a quad ale with chocolate? It's fucking good.
But
You
so,
know
yeah,
what? It
I
levels
just
it
sipped
out
one.
really nicely.
It really
'Cause quads
does.
are usually like all up in your business,
Your business.
Your
Straight up
business.
skip out my biz. Rest in peace, DMX.
Oh,
that was
shit.
not him. That was
I know.
But it
That's
wasn't him.
ludicrous.
Yeah.
But still, we're on hip hop, so rest in peace to DMX.
Yeah,
My
you know
favorite
what?
DMX lyric of all time. I've said it on podcasts before. I'll say it again. If I'm going to rob, I'm going to rob all night. If I'm looking for something, probably a fight. If I'm going to fuck bitches, and they better be tight. And if that's dead, then the head better be right. That's my favorite DMX line. Last but not least, guys, Hyundai is to release the Santa Cruz, which is the Tucson truck.
Tucson
Oh,
Ridgeline.
I did see that.
Yeah.
I
Are
did.
we talking like a flatbed joint or?
It looks like an original.
It's a pickup.
It looks like the original Ridgeline, right? Yeah.
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 The less awful one.
I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either.
With a name like that, it better include its own skateboard.
Well, or with a picture of a rising bird on it, like a phoenix, right?
Cousin Fee out of this.
Fiona or Felicia?
Phoebe.
Bye. Oh, bye, Phoebe. Doesn't have the same ring to it.
No, now I've got the replacement to Felicia.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. That's a whole thing.
You're good.
Or the replacement to the
Of course, I'm
replacement to
gonna
the
look. I'm like, oh.
the replacement to the replacement for Felicia. So I found the shift knob in the old car that was by Felicia. And
By
there was Sayonara,
Felicia.
and I was like, I don't know what the name of the new car.
So is the new shift knob either an 8-ball or a grenade, or is
New
it?
shift
No.
knob's the old shift knob because I plucked that out.
Nope. I know what it should be. A silver bullet.
Yeah,
But
but
a big, like a grenade.
Yep, just a giant grenade.
A live grenade. Like, did you pull the pin and blow yourself up at
That
any
would be
time?
cool as shit. That would be really
So,
you
Toyota
know,
go
real tough. Sure, Toyota go boom, more likely, but no, yeah. What's the shift knob
We'll give him
joint
a
on
silver
that?
bullet shift knob for his new silver car.
Silver bullet.
Oh my gosh, that's the sweetest puppy. Look at that. Look at that face. Look at the face next to it as well. But also look at that face.
I like that.
Look at both of those faces.
I like that was the second fiddle. That yeah.
I like a good dog. Like a dog.
Hey, enter it in the Busch contest. Maybe get $20,000 out of it.
Hey.
Dude.
We'll call it a service dog.
That's all the news I got. So we can
Well,
go.
have you ever taught a dog to wave?
Like
If you say how you
that's
doing, but this is an Australian Shepherd that's 2 years old. If you say how you doing, she'll like give a like.
Oh, that's
Such a great
wave.
dog.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great dog.
We can go into a music category right now, or we can choose a car category. Because I'll be honest, I didn't think of any fucking car
We
categories.
talk about a car category right now.
What you want?
Oh, fuck.
Tell me what you want.
Oh, wow.
Magic of subcompacts.
Sean, what have we been
replacing
racing
subcompacts.
lately?
Forza.
Yeah, no.
To be honest,
Fives.
so in Forza, my all-around best car I use almost all the time is the Saline S7.
You mean saline?
Saline.
It's saline. Saline is a saltwater solution.
And you know what? It's a little salty.
refreshing.
Who gives a fuck?
So are you.
Just like you.
So, the pronunciation's funny because the Honda Tuning Company, Mugen. How do you say that?
Mugen.
Say it again.
Mugen.
Mugen.
Mugen, yeah.
It's Mugen.
Mugen.
Some people say
come again?
Some people say Mugen. You know what Mugen is in Japanese? I was told it means impotence.
That sounds about right for
Yikes.
Shut up, Kraut car.
Here's
How dare
something
you.
cool.
Just because you bought the most reliable BMW M3 in the world.
Literally.
Honda. Dude, I'm at 165 now.
That's
and
been
it's
that's gone into a
ridiculous.
curb as well. So you rebuilt that too. It was a snow day.
Every
Let's be
BMW
real.
owner I know besides Sean has had multiple
Mhm.
catastrophic problems.
Yeah.
He bought the work.
Hey, Brian's doing okay, but he doesn't drive it.
I've owned it for over
Has a different badge.
I've driven it for 130,000 miles. It's got 165 on it.
And you do you've kept up with all the
Yes.
necessary maintenance.
I've
too.
also taken it on some of the worst roads you'll ever have seen in your life. I've driven to job sites where guys have said, I wouldn't take my truck down this road. And I'm like, yeah, it's a car.
Yeah.
They're like,
Sean,
three,
you
bitch.
they're like, all right, man, hop in the bucket. Let's get up here.
Sean, you remember the Bison Farm?
Yes.
And at the time, I had the 97 Tacoma.
Yeah.
And, like, I took it down that hill going to it. It's like, I wouldn't take this little thing in there. It's like, well, it's
Too late
stakes,
now.
stakes are low because that was a cheap truck.
Jason took the Lexus up the cabin road.
Yeah.
And
He
it
did.
He fucking balled through there, man.
yeah.
Hell
I
yeah,
rode.
he
I
did.
rode with him on the way out, going somewhere, and he was just like, "What? What?
Wait, you're saying this wasn't a GX 460?
I was just doing the front wheel
the
version.
fancy
of that.
the fancy Forerunner?
What model is it? It's the
It's like the LS4 something. Like
It's a
the
sedan.
That's
sedan.
a lot of
Six,
car.
though.
Yeah, it's huh?
gorgeous.
Is it a 6 or an
The
8?
Sun the Million Miler.
6.
It's a 6.
If it's an LS,
That thing
anything is an
claps,
8.
though.
No, this is a 6.
It's
His
is a
is
6.
fast.
ES, GS, IS.
I don't think it's a GS. It's definitely not the IS. It's a
What
four.
year
It's
is
a
it?
4-door. It's like a 2015,
Let
2017.
me see if I can get him to respond to a text.
Yeah, if you send it directly, he might. Group text, he does not.
It's a
This
GS.
man doesn't sit
Is
on
it GS?
Facebook
GS
either.
350.
That might be. it.
That's enough to knock it down.
It's
You
a
could-
GS 350.
You can get some of those with all-wheel drive too.
I think.
Well, his is not. His is rear wheel.
Okay.
And dude, he just just think
Yeah.
the way I drive my car.
Well,
It's
sometimes it's going to put the
F
Timothy
Sport.
Leary into
Yes.
the LSD.
Yeah, his is a GS 350 F Sport.
Yeah, it's all white and it
It's
looks
pretty.
fucking great.
so
When
that
it's
means
clean,
he
it's
needs to
awesome.
replace it with a GSF.
It's pretty. That's a pretty car.
Because what would Matt
It is a
Farah do?
gorgeous car, and
It-
not
it
only
is.
that, it is
It's
comfortable.
yes,
the
it is
man
very nice
has
inside.
got it's like all the best parts that you want in a sedan,
Mhm.
but you also have a banging engine, and also he's got like 8 gears in that sumbitch. He was telling
and
me about
also
that.
the trunk room in that. Holy fuck!
What does he say?
That shit's falling.
2015 GS 350F Sport.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And that the trunk,
Thank
like
you.
literally,
Appreciate it.
all of us could sit in the trunk and be comfortable.
yeah. That trunk could carry bodies.
Well, because remember
For
we were helping
sure.
him move, so
That's
we were
the
helping
joke.
him move, and like we almost was able to fit his living room TV in his trunk.
Yep.
And it's like a 50-inch TV.
Exactly.
Like it, and we just didn't have to do anything special. We like literally laid it in. There was that short of fitting in the trunk.
Jeez. I will
Insane.
say the cabin trip was fun because like this was I've never had a 4-wheel drive vehicle, but like I was like, oh, the cabin road, and I was like, 4-wheel
Yeah,
drive
low.
low, and there's no
It's like man, just chugged right up. Yep.
I get it now.
Yeah. Well, and you got the ground clearance too. So like,
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't have to worry about any fucking
what
thing.
gave me pause, you pause,
Mhm.
and what gave Jason some pause. It was no.
If
two
you
shits
carry
together.
more than one person in the car out of that, you're scraping against rocks on the bottom. And that was me.
So you had to like fuck you had to like look ahead and start steering different ways to get
Yeah.
around that. Or there was one spot you literally had to go like 2.7 miles per hour.
yes,
If you went less, you got stuck. If you went more, you scraped.
that was the morning we went out to
Klingman.
Klingman's and Cherokee. Like, dude, holy cow!
When
I
Emily was
just,
the only one that won.
zigzagging the whole way.
That reminds me
She
of
was-
Emily
and
crushed
she didn't
it.
really want to go.
Yeah, right. She always does that shit too.
Crushed
She'll
it.
sit at a penny slot machine and put fucking 38-cent fucking in it, and then come out with like 60 fucking dollars.
That's how you do it.
That's how my dad did it. Like,
Really?
yeah, they went to Vegas one year for their anniversary, and my dad sat down at the penny slot machine, put in $10, and won $700, and was like, "All right, I'm done."
yeah, as you should be.
So
He was
who
like,
went
paid
steak?
for the plane tickets.
Jeez.
Getting back to cars, though, I did attend a McLaren
Oh.
Koenigsegg
Yes, that's true, you
showcase
did.
last weekend. So,
I got you.
Something Jesco.
yes,
Also, one of my
the
favorite.
Jesco was
I
there.
don't know how I found
Oh,
out
that's so much
about
better.
this, but I had it on my calendar. It's like, cool.
Yep.
I can't make this, but
Boy, oh, can I tell y'all, those cars look immaculate in person. And the only times I've ever seen them are in a video game. I'll
Yes.
be real with it. Forza has all of those cars in it. I saw a McLaren, but not only a McLaren, an entire fleet of them, because they had the Spider versions. They also had, I'm trying to remember the name of one. I'll forget it. But the I guess
McLaren,
the star of the show,
Grand Prix McLaren,
smack
the
dab
McLaren,
the smack dab middle of this parking lot of all these Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Bentleys. Oh God, everything of the like. Audis, a bunch of R8s, just an entire line of R8s. There was a McLaren Senna XP, which, to clarify the importance of that car,
that's what
McLaren
happens when
Senna,
you kill monsters in Final Fantasy.
Right.
You get the McLaren XP.
You get exactly. But besides the Senna being one of the most technologically advanced cars in the world,
and one of the rarer cars,
just in general.
Yeah.
The XP is an exposed carbon fiber gloss on the entire car. The entire car, first of all of them are, if I'm not mistaken, made with carbon
but they're
fiber.
painted.
It's featherweight.
It was a gloss carbon fiber all the way from the tail end of that car to the front.
And it was one of how many?
3. In the world, mind you.
In the
Holy
world.
shit. After I got on Wikipedia, after I went to this thing, and I realized I had seen a 1 of 3 in the world, blown away by that. But also the McLaren Speedtail, which gets naturally to 250 miles an hour. If you can imagine the front end of a McLaren, and then just once you get over the hump, it just flattens out.
There are a couple of cars that have Speedtail versions of them.
Yep.
They look really weird because they're like
it is flat,
5 feet longer than they would normally be, or they're the same, but everything is flattened out.
It is
have
purely
you
a
seen
wind tunnel car.
Yeah, have you seen
Purely.
people trying to like hypermile things, like adding things to the front?
Yeah, and then
back of
drive
their
50
cars?
on the interstate like an asshole.
Fuck. But
Hey,
beyond
your
that,
speed tail's not where your hypermiling
Porsche
tail isn't worth
Cayman.
anything when I hit it, asshole.
there was a Porsche Cayman there, which was an early. No, it was fuck. This was like the early 2000s Porsche poster car. Like there were only a few in the world, kind of deal.
Carrera GT.
Okay, yeah, not. I was about to say
It
the
wasn't a
Cayman
Cayman.
was-
Excuse me. I'm sorry, Carrera, but it wasn't
The Carrera
like the
GT2?
full-on Carrera GT.
Okay.
It was the,
GT2. This is Porsche 911 GT2.
I believe.
Well, I mean, it
so.
could have been like so.
Someone
the
look at this
GT2 was
picture.
the long, like you had the removable top, but they also had like the 911 like GT4
I've got a
RS,
picture of it.
which they made
And
very
the 3R.
few of.
Yeah.
This
but-
one. Pass it around. Tell me what that is.
That's a Carrera GT.
Is it?
Yeah, that's a Carrera GT.
That's a Carrera GT.
yeah.
Which I know was fucking rare for sure.
It is. It is.
I remembered it being rare back in the early 2000s, and now it shows up.
The only one I've
20
seen of
years
those
later.
in
If
person.
we get killed, James Dean again, this
That's
car
a-
will do it.
That's a different car, but yes.
That car's gorgeous.
No,
That's why I said again.
no. Paul Walker died in
Yes.
in that.
he
Correct.
did. He sure did.
So the only one of those
the-
I've
He
seen
went
in
fast.
person.
The
His fans were
V10
furious.
Yikes.
Quite.
I saw. So
Yeah,
Richard
V10,
Ord and I
no
were driving from
anything.
Wilmington to Myrtle Beach, and we were sitting at a stoplight, and he was like, "Porsche, Porsche, Porsche." And I looked across, and I was like, "That's just a fucking 911." He was like, "Behind it, behind it," and there was a fucking GT2 sitting there, and like this was in like 2004,
Yeah.
2005, like. It was
That was
like,
royalty.
It was brand fucking new at the time, and
Would
we
that
saw
have been
it
an
on the
early
road.
997 or that's still the 996?
997 did start 06.
And I'm
Okay,
not
so it
even
was still fried egg.
not even finished. There was a Koenigsegg Jesko
Yeah.
Absolute, which, by the way, start out MSRP at $3 million.
Damn, half a Sean's salary.
Oh boy, yeah. Flew
Yeah,
off.
the cheapest Koenigsegg is like 1.9 million.
Oh, I
The back
yeah.
wheels of this car were a full carbon fiber plate all the way around. And then the fronts were also carbon fiber. But also the Koenigsegg Guerrera.
Gamara.
I'm going to mess up all these names.
The Huayra. Wait, that's a different car.
Dude, that's how they beat the U.S. in the Vietnam War. Was guerrilla warfare.
Gamera is what it was.
Gamera is a 3-cylinder. You know that?
Oh shit.
3-cylinder.
I think your lady is home.
Probably. But yeah,
Wait,
Gamera's
it's a
3-cylinder.
Are you getting
supercar.
notices
But with
from his security system too?
a lot
I
of
heard
electric
the,
motors, so
the
it still puts
garage.
out like 2,000 horsepower.
Yeah, and it also has 4 comfortable seats as well. So
It's a 4-seat. It's the first 4-seater.
it's an actual family
Koenigsegg.
supercar, hypercar even.
I heard something about this.
Gamera.
Fucking hot
Spiker
yellow
Man or
interior
whatever.
as well.
I got you.
Absolutely.
Christian von Koenigsegg is a fucking
Maniac.
Yeah, he's a, in a good
Maniac
way.
/ genius.
In a good way.
Yeah, have you seen some of the videos?
he's
of them
Elon
talking about
Musk
their
without the
engines and
tweets.
stuff?
Yeah,
He's
it's
a really
insane.
interesting guy.
Yeah, it's a 3-cylinder. A combined output is 1,700 horsepower. In the
Yeah.
Gamera.
It's a good start. Bless you. Gesundheit.
That's
All-wheel
enough,
drive,
okay.
all-wheel torque vectoring, all-wheel steering. Trying to find like the power output from the 3 motors. One for each rear wheel produces 500 brake horsepower. One E-motor on the crankshaft that produces 400 brake horsepower.
Does it go?
Yes.
More like Steve's, yeah.
Actually, yes, that's true. That's incredible.
That probably is close.
And then, of course, there was like LP 740s and like.
McLarens are. This is going to sound really strange, but I never get excited to see a McLaren.
I think they're beautiful cars.
Me too.
They are, but
Work of art.
Yeah.
Once I get excited to see McLarens, I'll be excited watching a bowl of Jelly Bellies.
I got a belly that's jelly.
the reason I'm not
I
excited by
suddenly
it,
feel excited.
it's all engineering and there's no passion. There's
That's not true.
I don't know
disagree.
about that, G.
They literally
it's
built
blobby.
the first one.
It's all passion.
The F1
fuck
is
everybody
passion.
up.
It's because like
The F1 is passion.
who builds a car that you can only build like a couple hundred of, maybe 1,000 or 2 of without passion?
Well, here's
right?
the thing. I'll counter that too. Like honestly, if I engineer something, I'm doing it with passion. Like I'm making something. Yes, that will work.
I get that,
but I'm
part.
going to make it pretty.
If it's a
I'm going to
Ford
make
Focus,
it look good.
that could be a
I get
argument
that.
for non-passion.
I get that part.
All right, so where did you bury the bodies of your accountants?
Which one?
In the floor. And the bodies at the. Well, I mean, like
Fifth.
It's raining men.
the sound and the the visceralness of like a Ferrari. There's more passion and soul behind that noise and that sound.
Well, but
I feel like the McLaren was built with more engineering in mind than it was just the way the car makes you feel while driving it.
All right, so there are 3 things for cars.
Okay.
I'll say would
I'll
be
say bless
how
you,
it
'cause I always
looks,
lied to you.
what the engine is, / power it produces, and how it sounds. You can't necessarily always check all 3 boxes.
Of course.
And the new McLarens check 2 of those boxes.
Fair.
A lot of the older Ferraris and stuff and Lamborghinis might check
They hit a
2
couple
of the 3
fucking
boxes.
boxes.
They may actually not produce that much power,
Mhm.
but they look
sound
fast.
amazing.
And they
And they
sound
sound
fast.
great.
It's just like my car. Sometimes I drive it and people are like, slow down. I'm like, I'm literally doing 12. I'm still in first gear, guys. No, actually, there was one time I was riding with Richard in his neighborhood. He had a M5 at the time. It was 2003. So it
The
just...
V10?
That was a
It
gurgler.
was a V8.
It was V8.
4-liter V8. And
The
it
E39
sounded-
that's quite coveted.
It sounded amazing. That was my introduction to any M car at all. Was that car?
Beautiful.
We were driving in his neighborhood. He was in second gear, and he was doing 20 miles an hour. And somebody literally did shake their arm and say, "Slow down!" So what he did was he did slow down, and he put it into first, and he turned off traction, and he looked at the guy and went, "Win!" and just fucking just went.
My man.
That's amazing.
It was great.
Was the car silver?
Yes, but everybody
eh,
involved with that.
That's
I can't
the
speak for
German
the long
racing
guy,
color.
I cannot speak for the long guy,
Oh,
but everybody else
particularly
was sober.
Mercedes
is
established.
usually,
Well, the running gag is Mercedes chose silver as their racing color because the metal the car is made from is silver,
It's
so
silver.
they don't
It's easy.
paint it.
Exactly.
So, all right. So, I guess the point I'm trying to make is
So now I
that
have a Mercedes racing silver slow car.
if you had, all right, so say $250,000 that you had to purchase a car with, one car, what would you pick and why?
Y'all off.
Well, so here's my issue with this question.
Okay.
I don't know what half of these cars are worth right now.
Okay. So
They're not used, so
pick a super.
just
pick a supercar.
Really, pick anything.
Pick a supercar.
Price doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it.
price doesn't matter. Pick your car
All right.
and then pick
Price
why-
doesn't matter. I would say a Veneno, Lamborghini Veneno.
Okay.
That
It'd be an
looks
Enzo for me,
fucking
bro.
Nasty.
Okay. So we got
However,
Ferrari.
if I actually have to put a price tag on it, it might be something more like, to your point, an R8,
Mm-hmm.
because they look fucking fantastic.
They are fucking
What year?
fantastic.
Honestly, it doesn't really matter to me. The only like thing I could say that is they've got the years with the V10s in it, which might be more fun than the V8s. And there was at one point I think they did a V10 diesel. I don't know if they made a lot of them.
R8?
Yeah, I don't think they made a lot of them.
Wait,
but I think
so
there
you
were
could
a
get-
handful.
You get
And
an
they-
R8 Touareg.
They produce they produced like 1,200
Hell
horsepower,
yeah.
something like that.
What?
It's a Hellcat version of a fucking Durango, bro. That's it's just
Well-
a German equivalent, you know?
Well, speaking of German equivalent, is you get the 335, which is a twin turbo BMW. You can get it in the gasoline version, or you can get a diesel version. My boss had the gas version. He had to get service done at BMW. They gave him a loaner 335 diesel. He came back to the office and he said, "Hey, Doug, Sean, you guys want to take the car for the spin?" And he threw us the keys. So logically, what we did was we took it for a spin. And good God,
Torque.
it was torque, torque, torque.
It's like
torque.
torque.
It was so fun because it redlined at like 4,500, 5,000 RPMs.
Yeah,
but it
party
was
pooper red
literally-
line, but it
you-
doesn't matter.
You press the gas, you're going. If you're going that way, you might go that way. You might go that way. You're hoping you go that way.
So,
Sounds like my golf game. That's why I quit.
so money no object. You would say Veneno though.
Money no object. Maybe that. Or unless I wanted to go old school and go with like an F40 or something.
Okay.
Or McLaren F1. But I mean, those are unobtainiums.
Pick one. Pick one. It's money no object.
Money no object.
Unobtainium.
Unobtainium.
Unobtainium's no
Unobtainium.
object.
Unobtainium.
Money no object. You get to pick your car. You get to keep in your garage
What do you
forever.
keep
What do
in?
you get?
All right. Throwing in a random one, the GT40 original.
Original.
I still probably would
pick.
go with the McLaren F1.
F1.
Yeah.
Steve, what do you- we're
money
going-
no object.
We're going counterclockwise here, or clock. We're going clockwise here. Sorry, I'm using the
Counter, no
metric
clock.
system right now.
Bring me your finest Facel Vega.
Finest what?
Facel Vega.
Bissell Vega?
The car that killed Camus.
Move?
Are you speaking English right now?
These words you say.
It's half French.
I'm gonna have to
But-
look this up.
I need to see it.
FACEL Vega, like Street Fighter.
I remember the actual
Vega.
Vega.
Okay.
My dad had a V8 swap in a Vega.
You would want that.
Not a Chevy Vega.
I know.
Ooh.
That's pretty.
Classy. Classy.
What
even
color? Red?
so.
Perhaps.
Pretty.
It looks kind of like an old Chevy Bel Air or something like
I was going to say like the early GTO with the stacked headlights.
that. I know.
It's so heavy.
Talking about.
It is. It's very heavy.
It's
It's-
gotten
it's
heavier
dense.
since
Yeah,
I've been here last.
No.
Taking on a life
Steve,
of
what
its
was the,
own.
what
Are
was
we
the
talking about this
engine
car
and
right here?
drivetrain and everything in that?
The concurrent
Yeah, that's sharp.
The concurrent Chrysler 300 series. So pick a letter of the alphabet.
Poor man's Bentley.
Just bonkers ass power, French bodied, Chrysler powered.
Bet.
3.
Yeah, that's always been my go-to weird European car with American power. Second place would be a Jensen Interceptor.
I like the
same
Jensen
idea.
Interceptor.
Yeah.
All right, so after we're done Money No Object, we'll come back around. I want to say one of my favoriteest cars ever.
Favoritist.
Yes.
Favoritist.
Favoritist.
Yep.
Duh.
Which is actually probably affordable. However, continue.
It's like you want a DeLorean, but you don't want a DeLorean.
You want a DeLorean with you want a Risto mod with a good engine DeLorean.
No, what I want is an Isuzu Impulse painted silver.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you all
I'm
this.
halfway there.
Here are the two. It's an Enzo, a Ferrari Enzo.
That's a good one.
Very nice. Beautiful lines on that car, beautiful angles. Essentially the quintessential supercar.
The first hypercar, I would say.
Yeah. You know, in the early 2000s, that's what we could call it. Also, now that you say DeLorean, like an LS swap DeLorean would be fucking sweet.
Absolutely.
But also the spacing issues thrown away, that would be one.
Did
Also,
I send you guys the picture of my boss's DeLorean? He may not have it anymore. I
Pardon?
don't know.
should do.
His license plate was Great Scott.
Nice.
GRT8.
Out of all the license plates in my garage, my out of time
Yeah.
fake vanity tag is hanging on the wall.
Can I also say that my boss has had some of the most weirdest cars in the world?
Oh.
He's had like 3 Izettas. Yeah.
Did he ever have an i3 in the meantime?
No, that's too new for him. Well, you know what? I say that.
Is he allergic to burlap? Because
I say that,
the
but his
interiors of those are atrocious.
His daily driver is like a brand new Porsche, and his track car, I think, is a Ferrari. He literally bought a Ferrari specifically to be a track car.
So
can you imagine that? Can you imagine buying a Ferrari just to be your track car?
I feel like what I need my Halloween costume to be is dress up like Christopher Lloyd's character in Back to the Future. What, Doc Brown?
Yeah.
But then have Jim Carrey's haircut from Dumb and Dumber, and I'll be Lloyd Christmas.
Lloyd Brown?
Doc Christmas?
Doc Christmas.
Mm.
That would be clever. Nobody would get it.
Or Lloyd Brown?
When I dressed up as Dr. House and I had a cane, but I had a Batman shirt because there was one episode of House where he had a Batman shirt and everybody asked me if I was crippled Bruce Wayne. And by the 7th time somebody asked me, I was like, yeah, I'm fucking crippled Bruce Wayne.
Crippled Bruce Wayne, bro.
All right. So you said Enzo.
It was an Enzo. I was just thinking about it, though.
You don't get 2 choices, so you got to make one.
I know. I got to make it count, though.
I know what mine is. So take your time. I know exactly what mine is.
My lottery car, if I won the lottery, would be an R8. So I don't want to. I don't want to copy as well.
No.
So
I mean, it's a beautiful car.
it's a beautiful
it really
car.
Is.
It fucking rocks. I would say like.
I just always think of
So
like
what
Iron
was-
Man.
So it was a
Right.
Going through the canyon.
997 GT3.
Also, I choose the right to change this car at any given point. If somebody decides to give me that car, I might take it.
I unfriend you.
Same. What was the Chrysler ME 412?
Me 412? That was a pretty car.
That was fucking sick. I used to be obsessed with that car, so I might throw that
What,
in.
the concept?
Yeah. Oh no. Oh God. The Cadillac CN.
Oh no, the Dodge Copperhead was actually really pretty too.
The Cadillac CN would
I
be
think
my
I
second
remember that.
Which was in a
choice.
concept car.
If you ever watched,
Episode.
what was the name of that movie with Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson? The Island. Was it Ewan McGregor? It was The Island.
No, that was DiCaprio.
What was that? No, it wasn't. Can't have been DiCaprio.
More importantly,
I
it's
vaguely remember
ScarJo
this,
in that
yeah.
one.
If you ever watch The Island, that Cadillac exotic that they bring in at the end of the movie is a
Wait,
Cadillac
should we talk
CN.
about this first? Because I don't want anybody to accidentally sip it without knowing what it was.
Oh, I haven't sipped it yet. Anybody sipped it?
Nope.
No?
Do you finish your cars? Get that.
Well, we can finish it after
Okay.
we discuss the larceny.
All right. Oh.
I can read. I've had larceny before, but I assume this is a special edition.
It's the barrel proof, which I
Nice.
think you
Nice.
might have one of. I don't know.
No,
You don't have any?
I had the regular larceny, but
Okay.
it's empty.
So regular larceny is okay. This right here, barrel proof. Just like the Elijah Craig barrel proof, the larceny releases 3 releases per year, barrel proof. This is a weeded, whereas the Elijah Craig is not a weeded. So the taste profile is very different if you taste them side by side. It's going to taste way sweeter than the Elijah Craig will. But this one is 122.4. So it's
Nice. Loud enough to knock you down.
Yeah.
It honestly, it doesn't crack my top 15, I don't think.
Okay.
At home.
But that 16th spot.
Yeah, but you got like 4 million fucking bottles at home, so
It's only like 360 something.
We got to talk about that, too.
All right. So this is a weeded bourbon. Larceny is weeded. It's made by Heaven Hill. I don't care for larceny typically, but the barrel proof brings a lot of complexity, a lot of different flavors, because it's small batch, even smaller so than what they typically release. Because small batch for their typical release is probably 50,000 barrels or something like that, whereas this small batch is probably a couple thousand or a couple hundred even.
By that
barrels.
proxy, my car is a small batch.
So, but that really is
Mine's not.
that is something that's unique to the bourbon and liquor industry. Small batch doesn't actually have a meaning to it. It just means it's a small portion of what they do. It's like when somebody puts LIGHT on a bag of chips versus LITE. That makes a difference on to the whole industry on how many calories it can be less. If it's 1 calorie less than their normal production, they can put LITE on it.
Jesus Christ.
If it's significantly less, then they can actually put LIGHT on it.
What if they put LY?
And this is why Americans are stupid.
Yes,
Among
Lit.
many other
but
things.
It's lit.
It's
but
lit.
anyway,
It's lit.
Ketchup the vegetable.
so
Got
small
alcohol
batch
content at that point.
from manufacturer
AJ,
to manufacturer can make
your
a
next
big
band
difference.
Lit.
Ketchup.
It's
Ketchup.
lit.
No, ketchup the vegetable.
Um,
To Reagan. You
So,
bastard.
we had this discussion at Peerless Distillery, which is also one of our favorite trips. If you go to Louisville and you stop in at Peerless, it's a fantastic tour and a fantastic tasting. But they talked about small batch there, where for them, small batch is literally like 10 barrels. But you go to somewhere else, and it might be 10,000 barrels, and you go somewhere else, and it might be closer to 1 million.
Yeah.
Because if you think about the people like Jack Daniels or Jim Beam and Heaven Hill in general, like some of them, they produce 3 to 4 million barrels easily per year, and some of them are producing like 30 million barrels per year. They have warehouses out the fucking yin yang out there.
There's
it's
more
pretty
barrels
crazy.
per people than
I
in
prefer the
Kentucky.
Wazoo. Good.
But
Niagara Falls would have a
Assume
problem.
their barrels aren't voting for that turtle.
But you can smell, like, to me, I get a little chocolate on the nose on this.
I get dark.
Yeah,
I get dark chocolate
for sure.
Yeah.
Like a caramel kind of do it.
Got a little burn. You can really taste that hay note, that wheat note.
I get that. I get that a lot.
I get like blood orange, but now I get chocolate on the finish.
I
Blood
chocolate on
orange,
the finish, yeah.
But I got really like a dark citrus on the like start, and then it really finished with like dark chocolate.
So
I got the hay
get
right
the,
off.
I get the alcohol and the hay right off the bat. That's the first thing is that hay.
Hey.
In the middle
And I
of
love
the
that
barn,
shit.
smoking on it.
My car,
Yes.
bar none. You thought it was going to be NSX, but and I love it. It's Lamborghini Miura Sv.
The Miura is a very pretty
Those
car.
are gorgeous.
It's a very pretty car.
Gorgeous. Yeah, gorgeous. Genuinely.
I do like
Classic
it.
style.
It's even in the right color for Steve.
Ayo.
Yeah.
And if you ever look at it from the side profile, they shaped it like an airplane wing.
Really?
Mhm. And if you
That's
look at it
smart.
from the front, it has it doesn't have the metal on top, so
Looks
that when
like
you
a
look at it,
GT40.
when you look at it from the front and they open the doors, it looks like a bull because of where the
What?
yeah.
Yeah, the side
That's
swipes
sick.
on the
Uh-huh.
doors.
All right, so
What's the second
coming
one,
back
though?
around.
What's the second one?
NSX.
Okay, fair.
All right, so coming back around, a car I would absolutely love to own would be a '67 Corvette with a side exhaust and the Manta hood. The Manta hood was the one that had the hood scoop, but it had that the point going into it. That was the thing.
That's insane.
That was the bull.
You actually get the bull out of that.
That is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And to be fair, there are there are cars I would love to own
Yeah.
and put in a garage.
Well, that red one that I showed you went for $2.3 million.
You know what? An El
Cheaper than
Camino.
most.
But that went in 2015 for $2.3 million.
Still cheaper than most
Yeah,
comic
that's-
sets.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
And
get
I
in the
would
market
still-
now, it's 10 mil.
El
Right.
Camino's got my attention big
Yes,
time during the. Actually, I had a neighbor that had
You don't
two
have a mullet?
pristine ones. I wish.
Can I tell you?
Oh,
Can I help?
no.
Can I
He's
tell
got,
you?
He's got Florida connection, so I'll bet you're
Oh,
off.
you know what? I'm not far off.
Can I
Yeah.
tell you that I have at home in Fayetteville the predecessor to the El Camino,
Ranchero.
The Ranchero.
the Ford Ranchero.
Yeah.
Bro.
But that struck first.
We
and
have
that
a
didn't make it as big.
1975 Ranchero at home that has the largest engine bay in the world, and it has a 351E in it because it's the stupid fucking emission engine.
No, it's the
So
it's the electronic.
What, like 1974
It's an
motor?
EV Ranchero.
No, no. This is literally it's a 351 cubic
is
inches,
a
and it produces about
stifled.
7 horsepower.
No.
But
Dude,
my
new car
my
makes
dad,
at least 8.
my dad
That's
pulled the my brother had a Mustang. He wrecked it. My dad pulled the exhaust of it and welded it in to the Ranchero's exhaust. That shit sounds amazing.
Yeah, Jesus.
You can hear him coming into the neighborhood driving that thing.
Somebody welded straight pipes in on their BMW, the not the M6, the one from like the 90s, the 8, the fucking
I mean,
8.
Like an 840, 850? The wedge nose?
Yeah, the one that has like the V12 but has the two separate computers.
that's the 850.
850.
Yeah.
They did straight, and it sounds fucking amazing. But you don't want to
relish that
Gut it,
because
gut
that
it.
will never run again.
Gut it
looks,
and put
it looks beautiful.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
But gut it and put something that'll. If you want to drive the car and use it as I don't know a car, then
That
Yeah,
was one of the least
otherwise-
powerful V12s you'll find.
right.
Yeah, it's
With the Miura, I do believe the Miura has more passion and character. I guess passion is the wrong word, and soul. More character than a modern car. It's
more vague
so like we talked
bullshit
about,
to
the
talk about in
power,
a car.
The looks,
Yeah.
the sound.
Uh-huh.
That's a triangle, right?
Yeah.
So what we in manufacturing, we also produce a triangle. You said you can get something fast, you can get something cheap, or you can get something good.
Uh-huh.
Pick
You
two.
can pick two.
Uh-huh.
That's all you're getting.
Usually, yeah.
You want something fast, you'll probably get it cheap. If you want something good, you'll probably get it expensive, And if you want it fast, we can probably do it to you, but it ain't going to be cheap.
It was pick 2 out of 3. You usually can't pick 3.
Yeah. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's like, well, I'm fucked. I'm just going to buy this.
The S2K was fast. Well, not fast, but
At least quick. Considering its
not
capacities.
cheap, but not expensive.
Still disappointed you lost $2,000 on that car.
I didn't know. I lost $500. I bought it for $19,500, or I lost $1,000.
Okay.
So I
For owning
bought
it
it for
for 7
$19,500,
years.
and yeah, owned it for 7 years,
And had an accident.
and had an accident.
Yeah.
So
And still never heard anything from Seattle Boy.
I have not. I do regret
Fuck
not
'em.
buying
That's
that
why.
CR.
Fuck 'em
There was a
anyways.
CR for sale for $26,000. And at the time, I was like, that's too much. It wasn't too much, but I was like, I don't want to spend $26,000. Now a pristine CR is going for $40,000 and $50,000.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you the one that I'm mad I passed up?
What?
I passed up the BMW 1M, that twin turbo one
Oh,
that
yeah.
came out with a while back.
Yeah.
There was a dealership that had one for $40,000, which at the time was a little high. They're going for like $75,000-$80,000 now
The 1Ms are super rare. Never mind.
because they made like 5,700
The
of them.
M2 is functionally similar, but
They
the
produced
1Ms,
100 times more of them.
yeah,
Here's one to make you sick. My
they couldn't call
Pops.
it M1 because the M1.
yes,
Correct. Yeah,
my pop
the 1M,
sold his
yeah.
sublime green Hemi Cuda in '77
Shit.
for like $4,000.
But like all of our parents can probably
Of
say
course.
that.
You
My
never
dad fucking rolled through like his 71 Mach 1, his 71 and a half Camaro, like literally like 71 and a half.
Yeah.
Like he sold that to my uncle, but like there are so many cars back then that our parents because my dad was a gearhead.
Mm-hmm.
And he literally did swap any engine he could into any car he could. I grew up working on cars because my dad refused to take him to anything.
Yeah.
So like it's crazy to think back to what everyday car to them was, and now it's just like holy fuck. Watching on like the Mika auto and all that shit.
Yeah, there's no
They're
telling.
going for insane amounts of money.
Yeah.
And you know what? Actually, I needed to take it back to the future for a second because all of this talk of EV reminded me of my buddy Mike, who has a Tesla. And of course, you get the buddy that has the Tesla and is like, hey, you want to go drive around it? I'm like, fuck yeah, absolutely. My God, those cars are insane. So he's got the Model 3 Performance, right? So he takes me out in it. We just loop around. We're out in the North Davidson area, just that little stretch, and he punches the gas, right?
I'm sorry, what?
He punches the
accelerator.
electricity,
Accelerator.
and it is akin
He hits
to
the power button.
he hits the more power button, and it's akin to being on the fastest roller coaster you've ever been on in your life. It actually involuntarily throws your head back into the headrest. Like
Oh
you
no!
go,
It volunteered.
like the torque is so insane that you just. So after he does this, he's like, "Hey, do you want to drive it?" I'm like, "Well, fuck yeah, I want to drive it."
As
So and do the same.
Is the
And-
Model 3 like make sure your key card's in the correct position because
Oh,
that's
my
irritating as fuck.
God, dude, this
Put a
thing
pouch
is
there.
faster than anything that I think I'll ever drive in my life. And I'll say that because the instantaneous power, not only that, the amount of speed that you get in such, I'm talking a quarter mile, we were up to like 70 something. Less. No, less
I mean,
than
eighth
that.
of a mile?
Yeah.
It's a quarter mile.
Eighth. Excuse me.
Okay.
I need to roll that back.
This-
Imagine like, all right, so a city block,
Yeah, it
right?
has a
You know how they're all
capacity to-
blocked out in a residential area, mind you, which it shouldn't be doing that, but fuck it.
Allegedly.
Who knows? Allegedly. Stamped on the gas, got up to
were
70
in
and
Salt
back
Lake
to
City,
zero
the
by
blocks
the
are
next
bigger.
stop. And instantaneous. This guy also, you can change the differentials on the Teslas, so you can do like 40 in the back, 60 up front, vice versa. You can change to whatever
the power
percentage you want.
transfer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Mike, while he's driving it,
like,
punches it, just whips the wheel. The thing does a J turn, an actual just straight up J turn in the middle of the street. Insane power. I tell y'all, like, the way that I'm going, if things look well financially, I would love to have a Tesla. I would be like, fucking give me that, because I'm already, you know, like I already rock automatics. It doesn't matter. Like, I've driven a manual. I've done that shit.
How do you
It's
feel
fun.
being dead?
Dude, it's not dead. It's alive. It's the fastest shit ever. Like,
I know.
It's
My problem. My problem with electric cars, you don't get that sound, vibration.
It is just
the visceral
visceral machine.
all
But
you
AJ,
hear
your seats
is
can
it
fart.
going
I know.
while you're going 100
All right,
miles an hour in 3
so
seconds.
for you, it's
Like,
actually two double whammy. Well, I guess I'd say a double whammy.
It's a quad
Not
whammy.
two double whammies. So for you, there are two things wrong with that. One, no sound. Two, no manual gearbox.
right.
Yeah.
So the way that it was set up is that if you're not actively stepping on the gas, you're actively braking. So,
Yeah.
Which
That's like a
Say-
golf cart.
regenerates
well, the EV,
power.
yeah.
Yeah.
but like more so, it's like
yeah,
actually
I mean,
having
obviously,
25%
yeah. Right.
or 30% on the brake as soon as you let off the gas. So it's automatically charging the batteries by that braking momentum, which is cool to me, first of all, just because you can fucking create your own energy, even though it's not enough to like sustain.
It's not like it's not so self
The
It's
sustaining.
still
seats
lit.
do not
It's
harvest
still lit.
farts yet, so that's
Bro,
disappointing.
these fucking cars could blow anything out of the current market out of the water
the
speed
line,
wise.
absolutely.
Off the
Yeah.
fucking line. Honestly,
But
things in the
problem-
hypermarket.
The problem is
Yeah.
that as soon as you go more than, if you continue to keep the gas down
Mhm.
for 10
What?
more miles, that Tesla or whatever that
If
EV
you-
is going to be fucking.
If you
like,
have it on the salt flats, right? If you have it on the salt
Yeah.
flats, you're going to be able to go like 130, 140 for a couple minutes, and you're going to be done.
No, you probably go 180, 200.
I bet.
Because most of those are very like aerodynamic.
Yeah, and
But
it
the issue is it's going to burn through
The
that
power.
because the whole thing.
Batteries
One of my
suck.
most interesting classes I took at UNC Charlotte was fluids 2, aerodynamics. I took it with the dean of engineering, and aerodynamics and fluids. Air is a fluid. So we had to go through and look at drag coefficients of all sorts of things. We actually got to take a car to the wind tunnel in near GoPro Motor Speedway,
Yeah.
Mooresville area, and we got to put like different things on the car to try to create more downforce, reduce drag, different aspects like that, and it's just really crazy. Like, we had to do all sorts of calculations on how much horsepower you need to start overcoming drag. The faster you go, the air starts making like it's good. It's less fluid and more dense,
right.
and it's really interesting to start looking at it like that, because that power now it's not so much the torque, the horsepower when you start getting up to speed is where that comes in. So it's a really interesting dynamic of torque and horsepower.
Mind
Where
you.
does this come in, and where does this come in?
We were talking about the Gamera earlier. You were talking about how all most of it was a 3-cylinder
Mhm.
engine. The rest of it was electric. And genuinely, I'll tell y'all, I loved having my manual Mark IV. I had a short shift. It was fucking fun. But boy, the speed and the efficiency of that, like just being able to get up to whatever speed you need to, and especially in like Charlotte.
Yeah.
You just fucking, I need to hit a speed. I could be there in 2 seconds. Insane to me. And like
It
that
is.
shit
It
is
is insane.
sellable.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and
Huge.
I won't sit here and tell you you're wrong, because you and I are different in that, because like for me, I would rather you be flying by me and me be tail happy, having a fucking blast, having fun, like making a lot of noise and just smiling, grin. Like, he's fucking fast, but I'm just fucking having a goddamn good fucking time. Like, I'd rather be slower and have more fun.
There's a time and place for both. There's
for
definitely,
sure. Yeah.
And there are EVs that do exactly what you want,
But not the sound.
not
Not
sound.
a good, not a
but are
natural
tail
sound.
happy and fucking crazy while he's fucking going down the road.
If
I'm
I were
telling you,
driving
that
a
tail
Miura,
happiness.
like a drag race between that Tesla Performance and that Miura, the Tesla would eat its lunch, bar fucking none.
Yeah.
All right. So there was there's video watch that was a somebody took an E46 and swapped it with a Tesla engine and drivetrain.
Nice.
And God damn, was that video not amazing? They were literally like driving around and fucking dude gassed it and it was a J turn. He didn't even touch anything. He literally did a J turn.
Literally that.
And it was just the guy that was riding with him, he almost lost his phone out the window because of the torque that was coming out of this.
It's insane,
and the
dude.
sounds, it wasn't the engine sound.
Like,
the tires were just fucking just as
Howling.
loud as you can imagine. So
you
there
replace
are
engine
sounds.
sound.
It's just different sounds.
Yep. It is
I-
wind sound and tire sound.
Because
more
you
than
can make the
anything
same
else with
you
that.
can make the same argument because inline 4, 4-cylinder just general boxer, V6, inline 6,
But those are all
inline
engine
8
noise.
cylinders.
I enjoy engine noises.
So the electric engine is an engine noise. It's
Well,
just a different engine.
It's
Well, no,
just
that's
a
like
hum.
saying
It's a
that's
whine.
like saying
It's
no,
a different engine.
No,
Yeah.
that's like saying like I'm going to give you this gray paste to eat, and it's going to give you all the nutrients. But you could eat food. But food is such a broad term that
But
If you
they're
look at
all
it,
the same thing.
any
You're correct.
car
They all
from
give you
this-
that
So
energy.
Green
this
is
year, right?
automatic.
Any car from this year, outside of strictly performance, right? I would say sound similar. They've all got they've got a like.
what cars?
All right, so my car, for instance, I'm a 2019. I don't have the buzz of a 2011 Accord at a 4-cylinder that I used to, by any means. And this is just a 4-cylinder with a turbo attached.
Turbo's
to
a
it.
muffler.
Okay, fair.
Turbo muffles the sound. So
Okay.
That's why the BMW performance cars sound so.
I will say though,
Well, I will say it depends on the car whether it's a muffler
all
or
of these
not.
cars, all the new ones, mind you, all the old ones, they all have different notes. I would absolutely agree. But the new ones sound more like electrics than not because they have that bass instead of like having a
they're
like
they sound deadened.
right.
Yeah.
Which I mean is it's good or bad depending on how you look at it. Like I like hearing my engine noise. So like because of that.
Well, the feel, that feel
Right.
in that Tesla when you hit the gas and you go back in that seat. Like
It is instantaneous.
the adrenaline rush you get is what most people are seeking
Right.
when they're putting turbos and supers and trying to get 7, 8, 9, 1,500 horsepower to their cars.
Yeah.
They're looking for that rush.
Fucking insane. I'll tell you that from sitting in it, it was, and like me being a motorhead up to
Thanks, Lemmy.
this point, I thoroughly enjoyed that experience. I was like, holy shit. If electric engines can do this now, what can they do 10 years from now? Like,
I
bar
get
none.
it, but it'll never have the visceral.
it won't.
Raw.
It won't have the raw, like,
I would
fucking
rather
blasters.
go slower and have more fun
Yeah.
because I'm not a professional. Like, I don't care about being big. I just want to have that fun and
That's
and
legit.
that noise.
Yeah.
And I know that's killing the planet. Well, actually, you know what? George Carlin has a really good bit about saving the planet. Have you ever watched it?
No.
He goes, save the planet? He goes, we can't take care of ourselves. We're going to save the planet. He goes, the planet's going to be fine. The people are fucked.
Yeah, the people will be fucked.
And
Entirely.
He said, you know what? the plastic and all. It'll be just Earth plus plastic. People are fucked.
Yep.
Before we end this, because it's 8:37 actually.
Woo!
Yep. So
I can't make it to ABC stores 11 tomorrow, man.
hey, man, they open at 9 tomorrow. Now
Oh dear.
Yeah, they changed hours.
they did, and before
Whoa.
they do, we're gonna do because we've done this for every episode since.
Hold on. Before you do that, I have to say I'm kind of mad about the fact they're opening early again, because there was an ABC store down the street from my work that they opened at 1 p.m. and I would take a later lunch and I would go there and be there right at open. So when they get like their release of something, there are a lot of, allocations and stuff like that. I could be there and I could say, got it.
I can grab another bottle of something we can have a little sip on while we discuss another music topic.
That was 11
I only brought 3 bottles.
ABC
This is the
store
last
opening.
one I had.
That was the last one.
Yeah.
Okay, because
I
I
have
should
to
grab
run to the
another
bathroom.
bottle.
I also have to run to the
A
bathroom.
surprise.
Okay, so you run to the bathroom. You wait here. Okay, nobody listen to me.
It's my house.
You do what you want.
Bye.
Anyway.
You know something like
Well, so what I was saying,
I always thought like they open at 11.
but it was so during COVID, it was different between county to county. So in Raleigh, for the last several, the last from like November or even earlier until March in Mecklenburg, the stores didn't open until 1 p.m. But in Raleigh, they were opening at the normal time at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., or whatever it was.
I kept thinking it's 11.
It depends on the county.
It's here.
Yeah, it depends on the county.
And I haven't lived in Raleigh in almost 16 years.
So it varied across the state on what ABC store opened at what time.
Which means
giving
you're going to have
birth.
transplants going and picking up booze in the wee hours of the morning because we don't care.
I care. I want
Well,
liquor,
they
and I want good liquor.
don't care when they open. Like, oh,
Well,
cool.
yeah, well so
Hey,
that's when you go to
Those
different
beery
states.
bastards here again.
If you go to different states, it's different rules.
Yeah.
Virginia and Georgia can sell on Sundays, for instance.
That's-
Even though Virginia is an ABC state, they sell on Sundays.
Shit.
Yeah,
Georgia.
I only found that out
was-
recently.
Lucky bastards.
Georgia was already funny about the everything.
Speaking of Virginia, they legalized recreationally, by the way.
Gang,
They
gang.
did.
Gang, gang, indeed.
What the hell are we doing here? I don't belong here.
Holy fuck, that was spicy.
I mean, we're close enough, right?
Yep.
I just finished that. Shit.
I know.
That's
Have my
fucking.
eye on
It could either speed up North Carolina or just make it worse somehow. And I hope for not the worst part, but
We're here, and so are the them.
yeah.
I'm-
Purple state. Yeah.
Morbid.
Wait, was that a X-Man or was that Magneto? I'm excited for this.
What is this?
Not telling you.
Oh.
Nobody's had this on here but me, and it's one of my top 3s. Nobody's had this. Not even Mr. Bourbon himself has not had
Damn,
this.
bro.
That's
I
saying
need
a
to know
lot.
about this.
Before we get into this bourbon, we're going to do song. We've done this from every episode from 80 till 86. Songs from 1986.
So
My
here's
birth
your
year.
birth year. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So everybody.
Iron Man discovered since this year, so that was weird.
So oh yeah, cheers to that. And then Sean, give it a sip or a smell, and then let me know what you think.
Smells a lot like the hulling station.
Ah.
It's very, very fruit forward. I'm going to cheers you.
Right yet?
It
I
smells,
did.
Good.
It smells very sweet. I get a lot of cherry.
It's very. I can't wait for it because nobody's had this here but me. This is top 3. What is it?
Very hulling station.
Big?
I dig it.
I don't think it's Tennessee though.
It's not. It's Kentucky. Will it? Something. Will it makes it?
Well, I was actually going to go that direction. It was Mill.
Yeah.
I was going to say it tasted very rye-like.
It was Mill. This is one of my top 3. I love this bourbon.
It's very rye-like without going to a rye.
Right.
You get the flavor of the rye without the spice of the rye in that one. I love.
But,
Got a good afterburn on it.
That's very much hulling station.
Really.
That's what I get from that. From this one?
I get more cherry from this one.
No. Agree. I get that fruit on the nose. I get a little more fruit and like bright berry on the tongue versus this. But I think this might be more rye forward than that one. That's where the big difference is, and because this one is posted as a rye forward bourbon, whereas that one coming from Willett, it probably is a very high rye, but maybe not as high as this rye.
What's the proof on this one? After y'all tasting it, what do you think?
That's got to be upwards of 100.
So the
110.
the problem with this one is because I had the larceny before, it's killing a little bit. I would guess 46, 48%. So what, 90, 96-ish?
All right, Steve, what do you guess? What do you guess?
The McLaren Senna. I'd say 110.
110 proof? And Steve? $114.3.
Hey, let's go.
Not bad.
That is really good.
It's a top 3. I love Noah's Mill. And it looks like a wine bottle.
It does.
That
wine
bottle was $45. It was that, and Rowan's Creek are from the same distillery from Willett. You get a high rye mash bill, but it still has that sweetness. Which, Sean, do you prefer? I prefer a sweeter.
All right. So here's my thing. I don't prefer anything per se. I like ryes, so I like that spice. I like sweetness. I think I've narrowed it down that I kind of obviously like proof. I tend to like higher proof,
Same.
but not always. That hulling station is a solid drinker, and
what was the proof on that?
It's 50. It's 100 proof.
Okay.
It's 50%.
Well, still, most people who are casual whiskey drinkers would think that 100 proof whiskey was a higher proof. Most of them are used to like an 80 proof or 90 proof.
Well, that goes back to like Basil Hayden,
right? But you didn't really.
Well, here's something that you may or may not have known. Old Granddad is Basil Hayden.
Okay, so it's the same.
It's literally Basil Hayden.
Okay.
But yeah, like
what's the difference?
Right.
The difference is that they don't cap it out at literally 80 proof.
Okay, so the Old Granddad is the not watered down,
untainted.
Okay,
yeah,
that's the Chimera.
Basil Hayden, like I really like the flavors of Basil Hayden's, but the issue I have with Basil Hayden is they are so low in proof that there's no complexity.
Okay,
like as soon as you sip it, it's gone. And honestly, that's my problem with Bland's. Bland's is a good whiskey. It's a good bourbon, but within 12 seconds of you sipping it, it's literally gone.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I can't justify the 80, 90, 100, and when I was in Jersey, $149 per bottle. And so when I was in Kentucky, we went to a Mexican restaurant there, which we've gone to a couple of times, and they recognized us when we walked in the second time. Being the second time we've ever been in this restaurant, this guy said, "Hey!" as we walked in.
What'd you do the first time, bro?
Oh, we had a fucking fantastic time with these guys. But we go in and we sit down, and we end up sitting next to a guy that runs one of the liquor stores in town. And he said, "Hey, did you guys stop by?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Did you buy anything?" I was like, "No." He was like, "Why?" I was like, "'Cause they're expensive." And he was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, you got fucking Blanton's for $149. He was like, "Yeah, because in Kentucky, even though I live here," he was like, "I can only get Blanton's on the secondary market. So when I get Blanton's, I have to mark it up. And unfortunately, to make a profit on it, I have to market it for that much." And I was like, "But do you sell it?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Absolutely."
Yeah.
And he was like, you look at some of these prices and you go, how the fuck do you make anything off that? He was like, "Honestly, it's the tourism. Like the people that are coming through and that want that bottle, and I got it on the shelf, they buy it." He was like, he's like, "I'm not raping anybody." He was like, "I literally have to pay pretty high prices to get most of these."
Sure.
He was like, "So I'm not making a lot per bottle."
For sport at a Mexican restaurant, you would think most
Oh,
people
well, no.
would
Well,
know.
but that's a whole separate place. The Mexican restaurant, this dude is fucking chill. All right. So Karn and I went there the first time we were in Bardstown. And we went there and we started talking to our waiter, and they were like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah," and "Thanks, here's your bill, have a good time." And as we were sitting there, some other guy comes walking by, and he says, "Hey, how's the guys going? Did you have good service tonight?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was pretty good. And there's great food and everything." And I just couldn't help but look at your bar back there, and you had such a great bourbon collection. He was like, "Oh yeah," and we started talking about bourbon for a little while. He was like, "Look, guys, just go sit at the bar. I'll meet you over there in 10 minutes or something." I was like, "Okay, cool." We go sit at the bar. This guy ends up probably giving us 30 to 35 bottles worth of like pours while we're sitting there. And you know what he charges us for? $5.
Good Lord.
So we tipped him like $70 because the first 4 pours he gave us were bottle picks from like Georgia and Tennessee and like Rock Hill Farms, like things that I would never even be able to see in the store, period. And this guy was just pouring. And like when I say pouring, like he's giving us at least an ounce for every pour he gives us. And so like this is like Karin doesn't remember most of that night. Right? And so like I'm like, all right, whatever. We had a fucking great time. We go back 6 months later. We walk in. The dude's like, "Oh, what's up, guys?" And then we go to the bar. He proceeds to do the same fucking thing.
Oh,
like he starts pouring just like all sorts of things. All sorts of things. Nicest fucking guy. And again, we tip him a lot because this dude, like, as we're sitting there, like he's talking about like where he gets most of his bottles from is his own private collection, going and bringing the stuff in. And this is where when we were drinking, we had a Willet bourbon that was 70% alcohol. It was over 140 proof.
How was that?
Hot. But flavorful.
Right.
But it was hot. But he literally poured us that one and another one for free. And because he had it hidden behind something, and he was like, this was one of the guys that comes in here a lot. He was like, he makes a lot of money, and he's got a few friends that they literally went on a barrel pick, and they made it as high as proof as they could get. And so they only produced like 130 barrels, and he had like 3 bottles of each of those. So like, and he literally poured it to us for free. Like that probably could have been $100 pour anywhere else. So off the air, I'll tell you where this place is because it's a fucking solid place. And
What
I
you're
don't
saying,
want to
we need to go right now.
TBH, yeah. Because
I say free advertisement, but maybe.
yeah, it was just a solid time, and the dude is so nice, so nice. But yeah, like it's just in general, going and doing the Kentucky Trail and going to these places is a very, very enjoyable time. Take your time. You cannot go to everything at once. Do not try to go to everything at once.
Goodness.
At most, I would recommend going to 4, maybe 5 places at once.
Bring a bottle of water with you.
Bring several bottles of water, and in most of these places,
Bring
they
a
have
gallon.
they
Bring my
have
coffee
tons
mug
of
of
water.
water with me. What?
Tons of water.
I couldn't bring Emily with me
Sounds
because.
Drive you everywhere.
All right, that's fair, but
So Karin and I took turns. Yeah. So there's that.
well, the Mexican joint's open till 11. Hawthorne's is open till 10. I'm
It's
okay
going to
with
be
either.
Mexican.
All right. So
bro.
all right.
It's going to
Here's
be Mexican
the thing.
tonight.
I have to say, I've heard too much good things about the Mexican place, so let's go there.
You've never been?
No.
Karin
On the
went
way.
with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not me. Karin
Okay.
and Colleen did,
So
but not me.
Mexican
not
it
this
is.
guy.
Órale.
This guy, you said, fuck you.
All right, cool.
Facebook,
Well-
you heard it here first. He
Yes.
told me, fuck you.
So we're going to finish. All right, so Noah's Mill. Is it as good as you thought it?
I would like to do a taste test with the hulling station.
Okay. I love it. But
It's good. It's good.
Well, here's the thing. I
With
want to do a
that-
taste test with it because the hulling station could be $5 to $10 less than that.
this was $45.
I think you said 50
All right, so
with tax.
if I had to guess without typing it in, I would say it was anywhere from $40 to $55.
Swiss Mill MSRP. Guess how many times I've typed that with liquor while I'm traveling?
On his phone while he's standing in a
Like it
aisle
literally, like I
somewhere.
start typing it, it automatically puts the MSRP.
Looks like
at
$50.
the end. Yeah,
50.
All right, so this is 40 to 45. I would honestly would be curious to do like a back-to-back taste with that and the hulling station because they're so similar.
They are, but I do think this one's sweeter, where that might be more complex.
That's more wine forward, I would say.
But I don't like wine, but I prefer this one.
To me, that was more wine-like.
Really?
This was more port-like.
But port is
That-
wine.
Port's one.
Yes,
Well,
but port wine is
conventional
typically
wine.
sweeter than wine.
Nice.
Yes.
Songs from 1986 before we go eat Mexican food, ladies.
Indeed.
What? Sledgehammer. Peter Gabriel.
I'll be a sledgehammer.
Have you seen the video?
I love it. It's actually one of my favorites.
weird.
I'm gonna pull that as soon as I can.
You've never seen the video?
I want to
No.
stop that.
It's
motion.
literally like a side scroll thing. Sledgehammer. It's one of my favorites. I do actually enjoy that.
That's one of the best music videos of all time.
It is. I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Shot Through the Heart.
And you're to blame.
Bon
You
Jovi.
give love a bad name.
I know we've all done this,
Get it, bro.
but we've gone down on a muffin.
Muffin top or muffin? Yeah, I need clarification.
Which way do I walk? I walk this way.
I walk 1,000
Egyptian?
miles and I
Walk this
will
way.
walk to your door.
Walk this way. There's a line in that called, it says, "So Buffett going down on a muffin."
Muffin top?
I
No.
don't understand anything anybody has to say in that song, man.
Yeah, it's fair. Don't get us
well,
kicked off.
I was gonna say,
actually,
I was gonna
no,
say.
no copyrights. We're done.
I was like, I can hear. I'll be your sledgehammer.
Guys.
Steve looking at the
That's
camera
safe
funny.
territory.
I've made up my mind. I'm keeping
Eh.
my baby. I'm keeping my baby.
By Donnie.
What is the song?
Ooh.
Papa don't preach.
Papa Don't
Papa
Preach.
Don't Preach.
86.
Oh my gosh, there were a couple bangers in '86, bro.
There's a lot. And
yeah.
do you know why there are so many February babies? Because there are so many May anniversaries. It's 9 months away. That's why there's so many February.
We need to go back to May of '85 and see what was rocking then, and then oh yeah.
Well, I'll get back to you. Steve, you share a name with Mr. Winwood, and if you could only bring me a Bring me a higher love.
Oh.
86, Steve Winwood.
No shit.
Yeah.
Fucking bangers going all the way through '80s.
Watching in slow motion. What does this German capital do to my breath?
What?
Take my breath away from Berlin from 1986.
Top Gun soundtrack.
Oof.
That was my second cassette tape.
Moist.
Steve, why can't this be love from not Hagar, but or actually it was Van Hagar.
Yeah, that would have been. That was the year Hagar's at the helm.
And Sean gets to guess this one. Way oh way oh way oh way oh.
Walk Like an Egyptian.
Walk Like an Egyptian from
The people that sang
No.
it.
The people
No,
that
you'll get it.
It's banging.
The Bengals.
For the Bengals.
Yes.
I got close.
Rumors from the Steve's watch brand. No, the Timex Social Club. Rumors.
It's Timex or it's nothing at all.
I've divested from Timex because they felt too delicate.
Oh my God, there's so many fucking good
can
ones.
Timex, you're
Casio
too
Watch
delicate
Club.
for us, bro.
There's so many good ones.
Casio.
Should I wait till Sean gets back to do some of these?
It's not
As music
winning
savvy.
the thing. Yeah, just keep going.
Tina Turner's Typical Male. Don't remember that. Steve Mac. Will one of you be my little baby?
Be my little baby, take me home tonight.
A song ruined by word.
But it should have been different octaves.
No. I want to hear that song.
There is
with
no
her
correct-
removed.
There's no
No,
correct octave.
it's just get
Take me
the
home
fuck
tonight.
out, Ronnie, and your starving child. No.
You know
And
what?
nowadays that
Is it Eddie
child's-
Money?
Eddie Money.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah,
Timber
bro.
Night and
What a jam.
it's really
They played
terrifying.
that in
like
subways up until late 90s at the very least.
Until Jared.
That imaginary
Oh,
kid
fuck.
is old enough to run for president now. So
You know, may
there's
he
that.
rot in jail.
He might. Never mind. You know where I'm going with that, don't you? Jail.
I mean,
under it. Never mind.
We're just gonna
not-
leave that right where the fuck it is.
Yep.
There was something
Right
I was gonna
here.
say.
Yes, I do.
There was something I say
Fuck me
regarding the
sideways.
same thing.
We're gonna leave that where it is.
Everybody have fun tonight.
And on that note, good
Wang
night.
Chung.
Wang Chung. Everybody have fun tonight. Don't get me wrong. From Pretenders.
Turn ASMR on
You know what? That's okay.
guys,
I gotta go.
We just talk about this right now.
we're gonna drink some.
This sounds like a 1-900 phone. Like this sounds like a 1-900 commercial.
No, it's cheaper. We're 1-400.
Phone confessions. This bourbon was produced in Lexington, and it's pretty sweet.
See, this is why you don't give just two people headphones. You give everybody headphones because they all have to suffer equally.
It's just another blank. I wish it was Sunday.
Tragic
that's my fun day.
Monday.
What is it?
I wish it was Sunday.
What song?
Manic Monday.
Manic Monday. Tragic Monday. It's turned into Tragic Monday. I think that's a evolutionary thing.
If you really think about it.
I keep doing this.
How you doing, little mama? Let me whisper in your ear.
I'm going to start a YouTube channel and just read books like this and talk to people.
I can see your true colors shining through because who sang it?
See your
Lauper.
true
Cyndi Lauper.
colors shining through.
Which one of you guys can call me by a name that's not my actual name?
What's up, Al?
Steve.
You can call me
Who
Al.
sings it?
Paul Simon.
Paul Simon.
But who is in the
It's-
music video?
yeah.
Chevy motherfucking Chase.
And
Yeah.
who is a giant bag
An
of
actual
dicks?
asshole, though.
Actually, not
Chevy
him.
Chase as
No,
well.
Actually, not Chevy Chase. It's actually the
But
other
also
guy
Chevy
that's in
Chase,
most
he's
of
an
his
asshole.
movies. What's his
Randy
name? That plays the
Quaid.
banjo.
Look it up.
Chase
no,
is actually an
no.
asshole.
He's
Yeah.
actually an
Steve,
asshole.
So Steve
come to
Martin.
find
Steve
out.
Martin. So my dad was in Saudi Arabia, right? He was
As
there
you
serving.
do.
While he was serving, and he actually was like in the vicinity of doing stuff for Steve Martin. And my dad said he was there working with Steve Martin, like, protecting him essentially while he was there doing like the USO stuff. And he said he was the biggest bitch he's ever met in his life.
Really?
He literally walked around complaining about the heat with all the guys around him in like full on BDUs, body armor, like fucking helmets and everything. He's like, I'm hot. I need some water. I need some water. And my dad said he was such a fucking douchebag.
So, yes, but also Chevy Chase was a complete dickhead to like everybody that he's ever worked with, apparently. Come to find out, come fight me, Chevy Chase, if you have a problem with it. But
Let's watch Spies Like Us. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
you
Yeah.
can't call me Al.
yeah.
I don't know what we're fighting for. Says
I
this-
don't know what we're fighting for, but let's go Mexican.
says
Steve
this
Martin's got a
former-
fucking
says
banjo
this
band,
Former
come to find out.
frontman from Genesis.
Sibilant. I thought we cut this a while ago.
Former frontman from Genesis.
I'm hungry.
You're here.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry too.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
PG.
I'm hungry.
Gabriel.
Peter Gabriel
I'm
in your eyes.
pretty hungry.
Shut up!
Your eyes.
The last one from 80. Oh! Hey, Lana.
Lana.
Danger
Del Rey.
Zone.
Danger Zone from.
Danger Zone.
Kenny Loggins.
Yes. And
As well as Iron Maiden synth nonsense.
And hey, pretty ladies around the world,
Marilyn
Word
Manson.
up.
tell me what's the word.
A word up.
Holy
Yes, cameo.
It's not Marilyn Manson, I promise.
And the last one we have is
Eddie, this
I
one.
like this artist, and I'm sorry I do.
Big butts.
Yes.
What about butts?
Open your heart to me. I'll give you love if you hold the key.
What's up, Madonna?
Madonna, open
Yikes.
your heart.
I mean, back in the day, she was hot. Now, not so much.
I don't care about hot. The music was in the 80s from Madonna was fucking
Mhm.
good.
Sean,
music.
Check
how
your music,
excited are you prepared to get for a 60-year-old?
Depends on the 60-year-old.
Yeah, throw it out
They
there.
can't all
Look.
be Helen Mirren.
I'm sorry.
Helen
If you
Mirren.
had a
I was about to say
blindfold-
Helen Mirren.
If you
Get
had a
it.
blindfold
Let's go.
and lube, I bet you couldn't.
I don't
tell
even need a
young
blindfold.
pussy
Let's
from an
go,
old
Helen
one.
Mirren. Let's go.
But the equation, you just added lube.
Yeah,
But
blindfold yourself.
you just added lube.
I always add lube.
Wow. Then you didn't do your job right.
Just gotta add lube.
Or if you have a wife who is in chemically induced menopause,
Fair. Fair. Good point. Yeah. That's a fair point.
this has been a lot of fun,
Fair
and we
play.
need to do this again. I
And
don't
a
know
li-
what we're going to call the Four Beards.
Yes. Yeah, could do.
For now.
But then again, that might be we'll see.
I think I might shave
Four beards.
completely clean.
We'll have to shop that.
No,
Yes.
nobody likes a quitter.
I think this is only 5 months growth.
Sorry.
And I've trimmed it twice.
No, nobody likes a quitter. You cut that beard, might as well just say hey to your maker. Maybe.
Possible.
On that note, goodbye.
Friends, it's been
Let's
great.
Let's go get some Mexican.
I might have hit the wrong button. Oh, no, it's still going. Nope.
Edit.
It's still going.
Like,
Yeah,
whoa.
but-
Sibilance.
Keep
86.
going.
86 is in the
I
books.
didn't
Guys,
tell him about
let's
the
form
thing
a
and
let's
stuff,
form
huh?
a circle. All right, guys.
Captain
I'm AJ.
Planet, he's a hero.
I'm
Sean.
Sean.
I'm Sean.
Down to 0.
That's Steve.
Steve, what do you want?
And I'm Mac.
And we're done.
Woo!
Bye-bye.
Let's get Mexican.
All right, bye-bye. Later.
Bye-bye.
I couldn't bother them with the toodles and the thing with the trowel, getting a car, and I'm still not quite happy with it. What the hell, man?
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah, good news, I can do any interstate. Bad news, it's making funny noises.
Yep. All right.
Tires are shot.
Bye-bye.
Bye.